Councilmember Wood Dawson.
Here.
Councilmember Oscar.
Okay. So we're going to, we don't have any meetings, no minutes to approve just yet, but I would like to bring in the closed session, discuss the closed session. So the Town of Fairmount Heights had a closed session summary on October 3rd. The mayor, the council, and the treasurer met in closed session to discuss staff compensation as provided in the Maryland Code General Provisions Article 3-305B1. All right. I will start with the reports. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Good evening, citizens of Fairmount Heights. I want to first start off this meeting by thanking my officers that are here tonight. I thank them for their time. I thank them for their dedication. I thank them for their hard work ethic as we go through a tough time in policing, not only in the county of Prince George's or the state of Maryland, but across this country. So I wanted to personally thank you in face-to-face, on the record, and let you know that I appreciate you. Keep up the good work. Now, moving on. My report reflects 5 calls for service, but it's actually 7 calls for service. So when I say 7 calls for service, this goes back for the last 7 days. So we're averaging 1 call for service in the town of Fairmount Heights for the last 7 days. When I say that, that's a generated call through 911. Any other calls that were generated through the police department via a traffic stop, a suspicious person stop, or any other incident that may happen in the town. We also took part in the groundbreaking event on Friday, which the police department helped facilitate the road closure that morning at 7 a.m. roughly around 1 p.m. It was a very successful day. The mayor, along with council members, former council member Waiters and former mayor Martin, attended the event as well. It was a good day for Fairmount Heights. We had a great turnout, elected leaders, and it turned out to be a great day, and the police department was happy to be a part of it to make sure that we can make things go as smoothly as possible. One of the main topics I want to touch on today for the residents here in the town: carjackings, vehicle tamperings, armed robberies. We're getting into the fall months. We're getting into the days are getting short. The days are getting shorter. It's getting darker quicker, and we, as citizens, family members, community activists, we have to make sure that we have to understand. We have to do everything we can do to hold up our part of the bargain. When I say that, simple things like locking your car doors, locking your front door to your house, closing your windows, making sure that they're locked. As it starts getting colder out, if you're using heaters, space heaters in your house, make sure that they're monitored. They're easy to catch fire, burn your whole house down. Checking your smoke detectors inside of the houses as well. Over the last 3.5 weeks, the Fairmount Heights Police Department has been investigating a serial car. He's a car theft person, but he's making his way around Prince George's County in a stolen vehicle, tampering with vehicles here in the town here in Sea Pleasant, Capitol Heights, District of Columbia, and the latest information that we've gotten has reached all the way to the Oxon Hill and Temple Hills area. We are working in conjunction with 6D, Sea Pleasant, and Capitol Heights, and Prince George's County Police to try to identify and locate this individual. He's driving a white Toyota Highlander 4-door with a Virginia tip tag on the back of the vehicle, nothing on the front. I made contact with that individual one day last week as I was riding down Eastern Avenue. He was coming up 56th Avenue, making a left. As soon as I made eye contact with him, I made a U-turn in the middle of the street and tried to initiate a traffic stop on Eastern Avenue, in which he fled and took off into the District of Columbia. MPDC was notified that this was the individual that we've been looking for, and they had units, patrols out in the area, but we did not locate him. He is still out in the area. He's armed because one of the vehicles that he broke into, somebody left a gun in it, and he was able to retrieve the gun out of the vehicle. So some of the video that we've gotten over the last week or so, one of them in the District of Columbia and one of them Oxon Hill, as he exits the vehicle to tamper with vehicles, he has the gun in his hand. It's in clear sight. Those videos and photos have also been sent over to all the neighboring jurisdictions to let everybody know the individual is armed and considered dangerous. If somebody's getting out of a vehicle with a gun in their hand, then they're considered dangerous. I don't have the exact address in DC where this happened at, or in Oxon Hill, but those are the areas that it happened at. With that being said, we've stepped up patrols in the town. If you're if you're out and about, you see us, you have questions, you have concerns, feel free to stop and speak with any of my officers. We've made numerous contacts with citizens in the town on a daily basis as we patrol. And all of our patrols are not in vehicles. We are out on foot, walking around, making contact, trying to introduce ourselves to some people who may not know who we are, and trying to find out whatever type of concerns they may have, or if there's any information that they want to report to us. So feel free, come to the station, see us out on the street. It doesn't matter. We're here to listen. We're here to take your concerns and put them to action. So 6 vehicles have been towed so far here in the town. Dead tags, they've been ticketed. After the ticket, then they've been impounded. So last week, Sergeant Morris, who is the field supervisor, attended a investigative school certified through the state of Maryland. So he is also helping out with breaking down some of this investigation with the white Toyota as well. So as we go further, officers will be taking more training, getting certified, and other things that are going to help the police department in this town. I did make contact with the county police. The last meeting we had, it was in reference to the Ring doorbell program. I did not get a response back. I did send another email today. So the only thing I can do is tomorrow, when I go to crime stat meeting tomorrow morning, is talk to them face to face and try to see if I can get some additional information in reference to helping facilitate more doorbell cameras outside of what I believe we have somebody that's going to allocate something to the town. So.
The CDC said they would.
Correct. Okay. And I stress this. It's not a whole lot that I can say more than this. I stress to the people, as you get out of your car, watch your surroundings and lock your doors. As I did my study, Fairmount Heights still has one of the lowest crime rates in Prince George's County. Some people, when I say that, they find it hard to believe until I show them the numbers. The numbers don't lie. When you only have 7 calls for service in 7 days in a town, the other calls that were generated by us because we're out enforcing the laws that are on the books. So we did have some additional requests made by some citizens in the town in reference to parking, which we are actively going corner to corner, street to street to see if there are violations for one, what is the town ordinance and what does the traffic law say. So I've also reached out to a traffic unit from Prince George's County Police to help assist with that as well. So if there are concerns and people want to reach out, please reach out. My number's available and it's public. And it's also, everything is also on our social media site, whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief. So we will not have a report for code enforcement, but we would like to wish Mr. Pinckney a speedy recovery. He should be back very soon. Chief, when is his return date?
We don't want to put the date out yet.
Okay.
We just want to make sure that
All right.
he's fully recovered. We know the rest.
Yeah, we're not rushing him, but, so we'll look forward to seeing him when he comes back. Town manager's report, please. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, especially Honorable Mayor, council members, citizens, staff. Good evening, everyone. I remain standing because the first item on my report is to introduce our new town clerk, and I would like for you to welcome Ms. Daniqua Russell. She's employed as our town clerk. Ma'am, stand. She started on October 2nd, 2023. She comes to us from the private sector. She has loads and loads of technical expertise and experience. I'm sure all of you by now, especially the mayor and council, have an opportunity to look at the new design for your business cards. She showed me today how to use the Q card, so I'm able to use that. So we welcome you. And I am just happy to have you as part of our team. Okay. Now, next item in terms of administration, we still have Ms. Priscilla Hodge, who's a CSEP employee, who also come with an abundance of clerical experience, and she's had the opportunity to work as a clerk with North Brentwood, and we're happy and will be elated when we can bring her on board. She too has a plethora of experiences and very, very creative. So we are really building our professional team with our chief, staff, public works, and all the people we're hiring. So I am just excited about that. The town's new, please make note, the town's new external affairs specialist for PEPCO is Mr. Daniel Teixeira. He was at our ribbon cutting on Friday, so I had an opportunity to meet him. I was excited to meet him. So please direct all your calls and concerns about PEPCO issues to him in the report, and I'll gladly email, I'll put my report online because his email, and he's with PEPCO Holdings, Inc., and so please contact him. I did receive a new list of street outages recently sent to me from the townhouses, 5600 block of K Street, the intersection of K Street and Cove Street, and areas in the rear of Hip Hop Chicken. So we're working. I also would like to thank the police. As a result of our ribbon cutting, I got an instant feedback, Chief, you should know that, from your staff, who highlighted some other areas that they thought we could be innovative as far as lighting, safety, and security. And I promised them I would get with them this week, but the week is almost out, but we will get together next week, perhaps on Monday, to talk about some of your innovative ideas, so I can bring before the council. I want to talk just a little more about the ribbon cutting ceremony. And this is part of my whole idea and our take on rebranding. I recall when I was the city manager in the town of Seat Pleasant, and the mayor at that time, he had us practice, you have reached the city of excellence. And I said, nah. And his comment was, if you don't think you're excellent, nobody else will. So I'm trying to get our staff in tune to having a similar greeting. Good morning, good afternoon. You have reached the historic town of Fairmount Heights. But now we may have a new twist to that. The innovative historic town of Fairmount Heights, because now we have the microgrid, something that is new, definitely in the state of Maryland and in the country. There were representatives there from Emera Technologies out of Florida. They are partner in this whole project. And then, of course, we had representatives from Pepco Holdings. We had the architects, the engineers. Everybody was there. People that I really, really hope to come back at some time to meet with the mayor and council on some of their new ideas. To Public Works, again, back on Friday, I would love to certainly thank the Public Works staff. The chief gave kudos out to the Public Police Department. I certainly give all the kudos out to Public Works. These guys came in probably before 6 o'clock that morning to ensure that the trash was removed, that we had trash pickup, that the sites surrounding the ribbon cutting ceremony, all trash was removed. They stayed until the very end, provided us all assistance, and I really, really would like to thank you. In addition to the information about the ribbon cutting ceremony, many of the staff have come to me to say they realize that this whole issue of building low and moderate income households, and especially having the microgrid and having all the amenities that you would find with people with high incomes, that can be offered to us. And I remember Councilmember Ivy said the very same thing on Friday. So if anybody's interested in finding out more money, you can contact Stephanie at HIP, or you can contact me. Again, I want to thank the Public Works staff for painting stop lines and crosswalk areas throughout the town, so they're about to start that. We are ready to start the K Street Market Circle project. We received $10,000 from Pepco and Sustainable Maryland. We plan to install solar lights into historic markers, and I did send an email to you, Ms. Leftwich, and to others, and I think I copied you, Susan, in the email concerning the design of the historic markers, because there will be 2 historic markers, one on Addison Road, and I'm going to have to work, Mr. Crater, you and I have to probably work with the county, because that's a county road to install. However, I'm sure that would not be an issue. And then we're going to install another at Market Circle. So if you get an opportunity, this was a real comprehensive approach in planning to a Main Street area. We are connecting the west side of Fairmount Heights, crossing the Addison Road, around Market Circle, to areas where we have pumped in millions of dollars. We have the park, the Pocket Park. We have, and thank you, Susan, for explaining to me yesterday the difference between direct cash and resources. My spill on resources is that often the resources way outweigh the funds we bring in. The building of those 6 houses, it costs north of $4.4 million. It's going to bring in a lot of employment for construction, architects, engineers, and solar energy. So I'm excited about that. Also, and in my report, I said that we would like to revise the trash fee schedule. I said see attached. I don't think did we finish typing that up? We did, okay. Okay, but if not, I will send it to you, and we'll probably get it on the work schedule for council input or approval at the next meeting. But that's something important that we really need to do, because often people set out items, they're not clear as to size and what items should be set out, so we want to really work at improving that. Also, economic development and the green team. I would certainly like to thank Councilmember Leftwich and Mr. Pinckney got an opportunity to attend our last meeting. I want to thank you that we have up to 8 members, and we have one of our members here today. I think Mrs. Capers may be coming in a little later. Okay, and so you're going to do a presentation, which is a very green project. We spent a lot of time really for orientation to Mrs. Leftwich, so she can have a historic background of all the projects that we've worked on, and some of them we're going to have to renew because we started this in 3 or 4 years ago. They want to update that information, but I'm excited because we're going to have 2 great innovative demonstration projects. One is the microgrid project, and we're looking at other ways that we can, and I know somebody put some information already, that using the residents of the town and high school students to create our own farmers market. Our green team meets Thursday, October 26th, 4th Thursday in each month. We've been trying to be at 6:30, but I think people would prefer, Ms. Leftwich, I did not pass this by you, but I think people prefer meeting at 7 instead because sometimes people need to get home. So I think when I do the agenda, I'll change the time. I know for the longest, we've had Councilmember Wood Dodson, who's part of the green team, and we have former mayor and Councilmember Waiters. I'm so happy that you're here. You've been such an innovative part of the green team, and I want to thank you for that. We have not, Mr. Leftwich, we have not yet set a date for the community development team, for economic community development, but I'll get with you on the side, another date to schedule that. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Boone. Now we'll have the treasurer's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, citizens, residents, and staff. I would like to say welcome. We do have 3 new staff members who are with us tonight. Ms. Sarumi introduced Ms. Russell, Ms. Shaniqua Russell. We also have our 2 new staff members from Public Works, Mr. Mazzone and Mr. White. So welcome. It's nice to have you all as part of staff and have you all at the meeting tonight. Mayor and Council, I won't be before you long. You do have my summary. So I will just kind of highlight everything, highlight it so that citizens, you will have the same information. We are 3 months into our fiscal year. Our fiscal year begins in July and it ends in June. So our total budget for revenue for fiscal year 24 is $1,129,789. As of the end of September, we have received $115,025.23. I share this in the beginning of each year that the first couple of months of the fiscal year is a little difficult, not for us to be able to operate, but it's a little difficult because we are waiting to receive the largest portion of our income that we receive from taxes. So that deposit will probably hit our bank in October, which we always are thankful when that hits our bank because then anything that we've had to put off that may be a large endeavor, we can then begin to plan for it. Our total expenditure budget for fiscal year 24 is $1,437,068. As of the end of September, we have spent $122,777. So again, because we have been operating in a positive, we've been in the black for the past, I think, maybe 8 or 9 years. We are able to operate during the times where we don't have as much income coming in as we do expenses going out. At the bottom of your report, I always like to update, we have 3 vehicles that we have loans for. So we have our dump truck, which we purchased, and it will be paid off in 2025. The balance remaining is $19,220. We also have a trash truck, which will be paid off in 2025 as well. And the balance on that is $59,409. And we just purchased a pickup truck, and the balance on that is $41,359. That'll be paid off in 2028. Now, one of the things that the mayor and council we can consider is we can consider, once we take a look at how we are, if we want to make additional payments to bring those payments, to pay those vehicles off a little sooner. I want to thank Mr. Cradle because he has done an amazing job making sure that we are on schedule with all of our maintenance, making sure that we have our inspections done, making sure that everything that needs to happen with the vehicles is happening, and so I do want to thank him for that. Mayor and Council, we have several things that we talked about. We talked in our last meeting, I think it may have been the work session last month, or town meeting last month. I threw a couple things out at you, and I'm going to bring them back up because as much as I don't want to obligate myself to any more evening meetings, there are so many things that we have on our plate. One of the things I will share is it is difficult to get a lot done in 4 weeks. A lot happens in 4 weeks, but it's difficult to get things done in 4 weeks. And we have a lot of projects on the table. One of the things that we've been talking about and we've been trying to move forward with are our street repairs. I want to thank Mr. Cradle because I have worked him probably harder than I should as a colleague. But I told the mayor, I received a call from a citizen and I thought it was a very appropriate call. The question was the question was specifically where were the street repairs going to be done for the 2 sidewalks? And how were those 2 sidewalks determined? How did we determine to do those 2 sidewalks? And the citizen expressed that there were additional sidewalks that we should look at. The citizen did send in pictures, and I don't disagree. So Mayor and Council, what I would like to do is meet again to talk about the areas that have already been identified, to also share with you the additional areas. Now, I will say those 2 areas that were identified, those are severe trip hazards. We do have to address those, but I don't think it would be unfair for us to go back and take a look again at what areas we have identified and then what areas we have not possibly identified. So, Mr. Cradle, I will speak with you to show you those additional areas and then to get additional areas that we need to take a look at. And that's why I make the comment about it's so hard to get things done in a short period of time, because from month to month we're getting in quotes, we're trying to get things moving, and then additional things will come in. We have talked about the bathroom repairs, and at the last meeting, I think I made the comment, with the building inspection and with the plans for, we don't know what's going to happen with the building, let's find out if we're able to defer the money. If we don't, and Mayor Stewart got the answer to that, and that answer is no. We have to use the money. So we will still be good stewards, we will be prudent in what we do, but we do have to use the money. We cannot defer it. So we will have to move forward with what we requested, which was to do the bathrooms on the lower level, to do the front door, and prayerfully to do the bathrooms up here, because these are the first bathrooms that people see when they come in and people use. So we will move forward, but we're going to need to meet again to talk about the bathrooms and be able to make the best decision that we can make. I also want to once again thank the Public Works staff, because as I mentioned in the last meeting, that we did purchase with the ARPA money, which was allocated for the Public Works Department, we did purchase the leaf vacuum, and we spent $8,070 to purchase that. And we were able to purchase 3 backpack blowers, and they were $384 a piece. So we do have the 3 backpack blowers, we do have the leaf vacuum, and then this happened after September, so I'll give you the exact amount at my next report, but we also purchased the sweeper. So we have the sweeper for to clean the leaves up as well. And that sweeper can also help us during snow removal. And we said if we had enough, we would look to purchase a second, and we do have enough to purchase a second sweeper. So I think Public Works is going to be in a good position for the winter, depending upon what happens. And I'm going to wrap up with this, Mayor Stewart, because I haven't told you this. I did inform Mr. Cradle. The previous administration had, and you were part of that, but you all had, it was so much going on, we didn't get to this with you. Mayor Martin and I had talked about it. We had discussed the fact that we are not prepared for Public Works if we have a large snowstorm. We don't have anything in place. We don't have any where for Public Works, if they have to come in and be here for extended periods of time, we have nowhere for them to sleep. We have nowhere for them to launder their clothes. If your clothes are wet and they need to be dry, we don't have those facilities. We don't have the washer and dryer. And Mayor Martin and I had talked about that, but just so much goes on, we were not able to get back to that. So I would like to place it on the table with the winter coming in. I did talk to Mr. Cradle to ensure that we have everything that we need as far as uniforms, but we also need the next piece of it. And Chief, that's for your team as well, because when we have a major event, any type of weather event, our essential workers, whether you've been classified as essential or not, you're asked to be here. So we need to make those accommodations. And I know I haven't come before you. I put the cart before the horse because I wanted to find out what some of the needs were. But we do need to talk about that so that we can try to get things in place and be prepared and figure out where in the budget we're going to make that work. So those are the things I want to update on tonight. Okay.
Thank you for your report.
You're welcome.
We're going to move right on down the agenda to citizens' participation. If anybody would like to say anything, you can come up to the mic, please. And I just want to advise everybody you get 3 minutes. Is somebody?
3 minutes.
How are you this evening?
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Renita Flood Bennett. I am with the Fairmount Heights Community Development Corporation. On this evening, I just wanted to come and present ourselves to you and give you a little details about who we are, what we do, our mission, and how we hope to collaborate with you all for the enhancement of the community. So as stated, we are the Fairmount Heights Community Development Corporation. We are a nonprofit founded in 2014, devoted to a collaborative and collective approach to address housing instability, disadvantages in underserved communities, and provide economic development strategies, related issues that impact the community. FHCDC intends to partner with the town's government, public, and private entities to provide economic growth. We are currently a part of the economic development team for the town of Fairmount Heights. Our mission is supportive housing program. We provide housing and supportive services for displaced youth, homelessness, seniors, disabled, and returning citizens with the goal of self-sustainability and a positive integration back into the community. Just because I have 3 minutes, I'm just going to move through this quickly, and I will leave this with you guys to get the whole detail. But the synopsis is we do workforce and business development, mental health and wellness awareness, youth services, senior services, meal and nutrition services, provision, protection, and education. And we would like to work with you guys to make sure that all this is coming to the community where we all kind of started. And it just doesn't make sense for us to provide these services all around the town of Fairmount Heights and, to not come together with you all to make sure that we are pursuing all opportunities for the enhancement for the community. For today, our proposal for today is to serve alongside the town by a way of an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, to pursue funding opportunities, development opportunities, capacity building, technical training opportunities, implement businesses, increase family support, and other opportunities for the enhancement and the unity of the community. If we were so to agree to an MOU, of course, we will all have to speak about the details as far as the responsibilities of what our portion would be and what all you guys will contribute, and then we will have to come and go through an MOU in the next meeting for everyone to vote on if we would move forward with it, if so agreed on tonight. Tonight, we are particularly asking for a letter of support from the town to pursue joint funding opportunities. In addition, we do have a couple of projects that are underway within the town. The doorbell security camera program. We do have Mayor Stewart who will present that program for the town. We do have 100 cameras that will be donated to the town of Fairmount Heights for the residents. We also have a proposal for lighting in the park. The Pocket Park, I believe that's 6101 K Street. You do have the general lighting for the public space. However, it has been pointed out by residents that in the back area near the gate, where the fence is, that there is some concern for at night that they would like some lighting. Now, we do have the funding to do that if you would like to move forward. We have Mr. James Capers, who was going to present via Zoom tonight, but we have 3 minutes. So, and now we have Jefferson Heights, 5500 Jefferson Heights. We do have the funding to go and work with vacant properties that pose risks to the community. If you have anything that you would like for us to do, we are willing to come into the community and to work on these vacant properties, to properly seal them, and to remove anything that can cause any harms to any one of your residents in the community. So at any point in time you want to take us up on that offer, we do have proposals together for you. We're on a 3-minute time schedule. However, we have the funding already, and we have the budget set aside for beautification for vacant properties. So if you want to move forward, we have the funding kind of just sitting and just waiting for the approval to say, hey, let's go ahead and get moving. So at any point in time, you guys can let us know. I did give you a sample application for the doorbell camera. If you so choose to use it, please just let us know, because we do have our own program that we will be rolling out. So that was just an application in case you wanted to use it. All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One comment. Of course, the speechless over superintendent. Would you mind telling them the amount of the funding that you already, can you say that, the amount of funding that you've already received?
Oh, currently, right now with the community safety project, we have $83,000 for that. And we are currently pursuing $780,000 for us to expand the affordable housing inventory within the town and the surrounding areas, okay? So that is what we are seeking the support and the support letter for us to go ahead and have the funding released from the state of Maryland for us to go ahead and to increase the affordable housing in the community for employees such as you, so you guys can have your home and we can assist you with down payment, closing costs to move into your home, or to rehabilitate the homes that are in the area that are currently sitting vacant and can be rehabbed and put back into use for someone to purchase a home. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, I don't know.
I'm sorry. We're
This-
not accepting questions. If you would like to talk to her offline, you can, but not at this point. I'm sorry. Thank you.
And we did leave you with the document for receipt of the cameras. so,
Yes.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry, I had to.
Our next, good evening.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Joyce White. I'm with the Citizens Association of Fairmount Heights. We speak for the people of Fairmount Heights. First question that I have, where are we on the ethics board? Council and Mayor?
So, I can answer that, that's a simple question. We do currently have 2 applicants
Okay.
here, so we need 3.
Okay.
So hoping, I have posted online, we have announcements on the board, so hopefully we can just get some more candidates to apply, but we do have 2. If you guys know anybody that will be interested, please definitely refer them. They just need to reach out, giving us their letter of intent, sending it to us via email or coming into the office. But we do have 2 so far, so.
Okay, thank you. And the second concern that the citizens have, and the Citizens Association have, we didn't have a work session this month. And out of the Town of Fairmount Heights council meeting rules, they said work sessions should be held the second Tuesday of each month at 7:30. Town meeting should be held the third Wednesday of each month at 7:30. The following rules are adopted by the council in accordance with the authority of determine and order of business pursuant to Article 3 of the Charter of the Town of Fairmount Heights. The article of ensuring the town's business is dealt with in a timely, complete, and appropriate. They are ensured that issues are thoroughly explored, necessary decisions are made, and citizens will participate commanded or are given the opportunities to be held to have their concerns addressed and recommendations considered by the council. So we should have 2 meetings a month. Should be a town meeting and a work session. This is in the town council meeting rules.
Thank you. Have a great evening. We appreciate your comment.
Oh, thank you so much.
The next, anybody else would like to participate?
Good evening, everyone. All right. Martez Barnhart, President of the Citizen Association here in Fairmount Heights. I'd like to greet the citizens of the town. Thanks for tuning in to the TV station. That's the only reason why I'm dressed like that, because I'm on TV tonight. I got this big old piece of paper because Staples didn't have nothing to put it on a regular sheet. But just want to address 2 emails that I received from Mayor Stewart last week. Want to put it in record. Mayor Stewart, in one email, she was stating that if the town wanted a full-time mayor, that they need to convert this position to a full-time salary job. That her hours of operation is from Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. And she'll respond to emails according to her work schedule. And I'm saying this for the record because we voted for mayor and council, and we didn't think that it was stipulations on hours of operation. So we want to know if that was something that the mayor was aware before she was elected into office, or this was something that she decided to do after office. That's the one email. The second email was pertaining to our police department. Our police department is doing a great job. They out on our streets. All my neighbors are saying they seeing them riding around with their lights on, especially at nighttime now, so we appreciate you guys for doing that. But Mayor Stewart also explained with the police department with the hours that will be worked, that they couldn't do a 24-hour service because they don't have enough help, which we do understand. And in her email, she gave the information of if we wanted to have more hours served from our police department or more officers, then we might need to go up on our property taxes or look at federal funding and other programs to try to help our police department out. So we all know our property taxes is already high enough. We live in the town of Fairmount Heights, small, we right off the district line. I mean, every year the property taxes go up. We thought when we were, establishing the police department, I know my 3 minutes is almost up, that it will work. It will work. A lot of citizens thought that, with the money that was given through ARPA and the money that was given through budget-wise, that we would have a fully functioning police department. So those are my 2 questions to the mayor tonight, because I think my 3 minutes is up.
Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it.
These are questions.
Next person, please.
Well, let me address the police department side. You will, I will.
Okay.
So, me as the police chief, these are my officers right here. I can't work them 24 hours a day. I can't work them 7 days a week. That's labor law practice.
Gotcha.
They have to have days off to refresh, to be with their families, and recharge and come in here and take on the crime in this DMV area. So, with that being said, there are municipalities that are out here with 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 officers and do not run a 24-hour shift.
Understand.
So what we do to complement that is we reach out to the county police, have them take on the patrolling duties and respond to calls. So when we're out here during the day into the evenings and people see us riding around, because we are riding around. We are responding to calls, we are checking on citizens, and we're doing everything that we're supposed to do. Everything. Now, when crime happens, we're not in front of everybody's house, but we'll respond, take the report, and do what we're supposed to do. The idea that, I'm not sure who your citizens are who have this concern, that think that we're supposed to be here 24 hours a day. What the mayor's statement is, that's my statement. Let's get some more officers in here. Give me a bigger budget. I can get 5 to 6 more officers and we can run it around the clock. And I'm a chief that when y'all see me out here, I'm out here with my guys. And most of the time, I don't get paid for it. My 8 hours are up, but I'm out here another 4 or 5 hours with my guys. I'm asking them to do it, I'm gonna do it myself. So when we're out here on these Saturdays and these Sundays in the rain or whatever the case may be, we are doing it because we want to move in the right direction. I know where this department came from. I know that I have the leadership and I have the right people in place to move it forward and get it in the right direction. That's the way I was bred, that's the way I was taught, that's the way I was trained. So when we get it in here, we can ride around this town with these 4 officers and look like it's 80 officers out here because we're everywhere all at once. So for people to think that, oh, we need them from sun up to sundown, it's not feasible. It's not feasible with what we have. If when we came in here with expectation, let's take it one step at a time. Officer Cargill is not even cut loose yet. He's not even counted as a body yet. He's not even counted, he's still in field training. There's no way that somebody can expect for us to be sun up to sundown, it's me, Morris, and Dela Cruz. He doesn't even count. He has to ride with somebody. He has to be with somebody everywhere he goes. Everywhere he goes. Until the Maryland State Training Commission said he's met his requirements to be cut loose and on his own. But guess what? Anything I ask him to do, come in to do, all of them, they're here. They're here. I'm here more than I should be. I'm here more than I'm with my own family. And that's just to make sure we get it right and do it right. So I don't know if it's a complaint that the citizens are making, but tell the citizens to come see me and I'll break down the whole plan for them. I'll break it all the way down and then we can work together to better understand what's the role of the police department. Because last time I know, I've been policing for 25 years. I know what I'm doing. I know how to get it done and I'll continue to do that. And the biggest part of all of it, we're going to do it the right way, not the way things used to be. We're going to do it the right way by the law and what the rules and the regulations are. So that's going to take some time to get the right people in place. If we can get more bodies, but I got a good team right here. And I have full confidence in their ability to be out here and do what they want to do. So if there are any more questions, we can talk on the sidebar, or y'all can come to my office, make an appointment. I'm here. I'm here late tonight. I've been here since 12 o'clock today. I'll be right back here in the morning.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you, Chief.
I want to comment on that real quick.
Mr. Barnhart, your 3 minutes was up. I'm sorry, I apologize, but we have to move this meeting along.
But he
Mr. Barnhart,
okay.
your 3 minutes are up. Thank you.
We can.
Oh yeah, of course.
My next citizen, please. Would anybody else like to address the council? All right, so we'll move down the agenda. Under old business, update on property 707 60th Place. Mr. Hubbard, are you here? Please come up to the front, please. I'd like to introduce Mr. Hubbard. He is the property manager for 707 60th Place.
First, I want to thank Mayor Stewart for inviting me to give you all just an update on the property 707. Previous to the tenant that was there, her mother was there. She was a program tenant, Section 8 tenant, and we had no problems with her. Subsequent to her leaving to get a larger spot in Maryland, she approached me about her daughter taking over the property, and we agreed that she could do that. We received a security deposit and rent from her at the beginning. After that, her rent dribbled in, not from her, but from someone else who would contact me and let me know that they were going to be mailing me rent. Subsequent to that, that stopped. That person was no longer in touch with me, and we started the process of evicting her. On September the 22nd in Hyattsville, I received a judgment for rent and judgment for possession. 5 days later, in accordance with the judge's instructions, I filed a writ of restitution, and it was granted. And we are awaiting the eviction, which can't happen for 30 days from the time that the judgment is granted. The sheriffs have my documents. In conjunction with that, in September, on September 19th, there was a letter addressed to us by Inspector Pinckney, asking that we reach out to him as soon as possible. As soon as I got the letter, I reached out to him. We spoke. I explained to him what was going on. I also explained to him that any mail that this town had been sending to the address was not going to be forwarded to me. It had not been forwarded to me and was probably being thrown in the trash. His correspondence to the owner was the first correspondence that I received from him. And I asked him why we hadn't received correspondence sooner. And his response was he didn't know how to reach us. At some point, someone may have suggested to him that they look at the county records and find out who the owner of record was, and that's how we got the correspondence. I let him know that any correspondence that he needed to forward to us, he could send to that address, and we would address it. Subsequent to my conversation with him, in conjunction with the license renewal for the property, I got a call from Inspector Holden with PG County Code Enforcement. And his request was to do an inspection of the property in conjunction with the renewal of the license. And so he told me he would let me know the result of that inspection. I told him we were in the process of eviction and that we were not really interested in doing anything to the property for two reasons. First of all, there has been a safety issue in terms of me or any of my staff going into that property. And I let him know this. We have agreed that once he finishes his inspection, which he has, and he forwards me the inspection result, that he and I will coordinate so that whatever life safety issues have to be addressed in that property will be addressed with his assistance. In other words, he will be there with me for whatever we have to do. In the meantime, I also let him know, as I informed Inspector Pinckney, that once this tenant moves out, we will immediately address the exterior of that property in terms of the grounds and in terms of the structure itself. What goes on inside, whatever work we do there, we don't know yet. We don't know after this tenant whether we're going to raise that property, whether we're going to renovate it, and do, when I said renovate, go in and do what has to be done to rent it again. We just don't know yet what we're going to do with the property. It may come up for rental again. We may raise it. We've been in touch with the county in terms of what we can do in terms of building on that property. And I would think that those conversations would have to also include the town of Fairmount Heights. We don't want, and I can be the one to apologize for the appearance of the property, but I have to let you know, I can't go on that property without some official assistance, and I won't. We've done it before. I've had some of my guys who have been threatened. I've had some of my guys who've gone over and they were not allowed in the property to do repairs. So my hands are tied. With this eviction will come the opportunity for us to address the concerns on the exterior of the property, which I ride by often and there's nothing we can do. I did hear from Inspector Pinckney that there was some cleanup done by the town. I haven't seen the evidence of that myself, but I can't say it wasn't done. I notice a lot of the same debris that I've seen is still there, but he did say that something had been done. I take his word for that. So that's where we stand right now with 707.
Thank you.
And one second,
Yes, sir.
I address, because I believe this is next to Mr. Barnhart. Yes, it is.
Yes.
So I'm going to help you with your eviction process. I'll be at the sheriff's office tomorrow. I'll
Okay.
get your information.
Okay.
We'll try to get that speeded up as soon as possible.
Okay.
I can help you with that.
Okay, all
Now,
right.
the other part of that is you're absolutely right. Do not go inside of the house. Do not make any attempts until the eviction comes up and the sheriff's office starts the eviction. They don't have to let you in anyway.
Right.
Even though you have an agreement.
Right.
And it may be a problem if you go inside. So this is an ongoing issue we have been working with. I spoke with Mr. Pinckney yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
So
All right.
I'll get your information. As I go
Okay.
tomorrow, we'll get your address plugged in and try to get you pushed up as
That's
close,
fine.
as soon as we can.
Now, the PG inspector has told me that life safety issues have to be addressed as soon as I get the report.
Absolutely.
But he will be with me on that.
That's fine.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Harper?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I didn't know.
We're not taking questions from the
Business.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Can I be excused?
Yes. The next agenda item is the harvest party.
I don't know if I can be heard here. Am I on, Mr. Gray? Okay. So just wanted to provide an update from the last meeting for the harvest party. We are deciding to move forward with it. I was able to speak with the mayor and Barnhart for assistance with that. So we do have the actual postings of that on social media. I'm going to be working with Ms. Russell to get the actual flyers out through Public Works hopefully next week. And that event is going to be running on October the 28th, and that time is going to be from 4:30 to 7:30. So that is officially now on the agenda, now officially a community event. So look out for more details on that. It's going to be a great event. And that's all I have for that.
Thank you. So the next agenda item is reports. I'm going to allow the council to go first. Councilwoman Wood Dotson?
As far as what I'm dealing with is looking forward to Thanksgiving, being that I'm not really sure where we are in regard to what we were seated as far as the organizational, because we're not really communicating. So I'm making plans to work with building the Thanksgiving project, and that's my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Leftwich?
Okay, good evening, everyone. Just quickly, I did attend the Green Team Economic Development meeting on September 28th with Mr. Rumi. It was just an overview of what the Green Team has been working on and the things that we may need to change as far as the overall plan, but it was very helpful to address what we need to do as far as economic development, and it's also the Green Team. And also, I attended the Net Zero ribbon cutting on Friday, October 13th, which was definitely a well-attended event, and I was very, very impressed with what they have planned. And lastly, just working on the residential repair program. That program actually is going to require more work. I was hoping that I could get it in front of the council tonight, but I see that that's not going to work, so we have to actually have a meeting via Zoom and try to address some of the issues that we have as far as the timeline and other things. So, but I do have the flyer, I do have the policy written, but it's just not ready yet. And that concludes my report at this time.
Thank you. Councilwoman St. John?
All right, I do see some new faces, so just kind of wanted to revisit some information first as far as all of our communication platforms. So we are currently on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, of course, YouTube, and our Channel 11. We do have all of that information through, no matter which site that you choose, you'll be able to see all of the different links. We will have flyers, and we're going to start getting QR codes and flyers posted up over at the board. So if you guys would like to get your information a little bit faster as far as any events that are going on, not just within our town, but other community projects within PG County, sometimes Montgomery County, if it's something I think will be beneficial, we'll make sure we're keeping those things posted for you. As far as the website redesign, just want to touch base with you guys with that project. So what we've done since the last time we've met, we have identified the most requested resources that we want to make sure we have as our hotkey buttons. Those are things that as soon as you get to the website, you'll be able to click and get your information. We have completed the layout, exactly what we want this website to look like, what's going to go where. We were able to finalize that. Right now, we're currently working on the training schedules for all of the employees to be able to know how to run and work the new website. So we'll have multiple people making sure that we have the updated information around the clock. We are still on schedule to go live. We're looking to go live right before Thanksgiving. So unless there's any unforeseen circumstances, that brand new website will be ready right before Thanksgiving. We're still kind of trying to figure out what the communication team will look like. I'm trying to see if I can get a committee to be dedicated and help us to do all of these things. Right now, it's going to be myself and Ms. Russell is helping me a little bit, as well as Ms. Sarumi. And then our next meeting will be on October the 25th to go over our final design concept meeting. And I would think by the next month, we'll have a final report letting you guys confirm that it's live and when you guys can go and check that out. Some information reminders. We did get the question. We kind of touched on this already. We are still looking to form an ethics committee. We currently have 2 applicants that are looking for that, so we're still out on the prowl for more candidates so that we can start that process. We do have an open vacancy for council. We have gotten in 2 requests so far, so we are again looking for more candidates so that we can start reviewing that process. The use of the blackboards, just keep in mind, we'll have those out with the communications as far as meetings, as well as sending things out via social media. Our email address is working. I know for a period of time it was down. If you guys have any inquiries or you need to reach out to us, if it's after hours or you can't get a hold of anyone, please make sure you reach out to us at the info@fairmountheightsmaryland.gov website. We will respond back to you within 24 business hours. And then just a reminder of the rental facility that is open to the public to rent. Please speak with the town clerk if you are interested in doing a rental. Moving on for past events, I just wanted to recognize the Civic Association did do a community day last month. It was a wonderful turnout. People enjoyed themselves. They had food giveaway, clothing, diapers were given away. Food was cooked as well as given away. It was a good event. Also on 10/3, I attended a Civic Association class. I attended a Civic Plus meeting on embracing negative feedback to build positive relationships. So got some information back with that that I'll be sharing with the council to just help us grow and build. Yesterday on 10/17, the mayor also orchestrated us hosting a very informative, and I'm not trying to steal your thunder because I know you're probably going to talk about that, but a trust estate-based planning. So we had great attendance with that very informative session. And on 10/13, as Kirsten has already mentioned, we had the ribbon cutting. Also, MML Fall Conference. I did take I did take myself to that conference. That was a 3-day conference, so I did take several classes, and I will be submitting a request to join the academy. I did decide to do that. And then for our future events, we already kind of talked about the harvest party. We also have a farmer's market. Please make sure you guys check out the flyers over there, but there will be a farmer's market on Saturday, October the 1st from 11 to 3 p.m. Aside from that, we also have Aisha Braveheart.
Oh, what?
Oh, no, this one's October 21st. So, yeah, yes, October 21st. Yes, no, this is October 21st. I'm sorry. I start talking fast when I'm trying to run through it. I'm sorry, but no, this is Saturday, October the 21st, and it's from 11 to 3 p.m., 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Okay. And then we have State Attorney Aisha Braveboy. She will be having an event on domestic violence. So this is Monday, October the 30th from 6 p.m. to 7:30. This event will be taking place in Landover, Maryland. We have all the information on the website as well for you guys. If you'd like to get more information or join, there's also a QR code on this paper. You guys can scan it and get more information. And then lastly, we have the business fraud prevention. And this is going to be taking place on Friday, November the 3rd. And this is going to be in Adelphi, Maryland. So all of this communication is over there. If you're interested, please take a flyer on your way out. And that is all I have. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Councilwoman Barnhart? Are we going to be able to hear her?
We should. She's off mute. Wait, she's back on mute. You got it up? Up. Oh, let me see if I can put her on. Okay, say something.
Nothing to report at the moment.
Okay. No, she does not have a report at the moment.
So, this month hasn't been too bad. On September 21st, Council Leftwich Barnhart and I attended you went to that one too, right? The
Yes.
PGCMA meeting. First time Fairmount Heights has been at that meeting in over maybe a year and a half or so. Great meeting. We wish we would have went in person because they gave away very nice gifts. But they talked about how we can beautify the community with flowers. They talked about MML and the services that we've been receiving here lately from MML and how it was at one point very good services and now they're kind of dwindling down. So it was a great meeting to attend. We have another one coming up, I believe, tomorrow. And myself and Councilwoman St. John will be in attendance. I'm looking to create a schedule so that we can share in the responsibility of attending those meetings. So I expect all the council members to do their part. On the 13th, I did attend the groundbreaking ceremony for the Net Zero project. It was a very good event. I enjoyed myself. I was a little nervous speaking in the public, but however I did it. I thanked former Mayor Martin and former Mayor Waiters for their contributions to that project. I also thanked HIP and PEPCO and Block Energy. And I would say it was a really, really great turnout for everybody. Again, I'd like to welcome our new employee, Ms. Russell. She comes with a wealth of information, and I believe she will be a tremendous asset to our team. So if you get an opportunity to call here and speak to her, please do. She's very polite, and she knows her stuff. The vacant council seat, we did send out the announcement, and as Councilwoman Leftwich said, we have 2 potential applicants. We will start the selection process. I would have to get with the rest of the council, but we will start, I guess, looking through the resumes and the intent letters to see who we should, I guess, bring before the citizens to select a member. Go through the process to select a member. I invited Mr. Hubbard to discuss 707, so I hope that answered all of your questions. And again, if anybody needs to reach me, my email address is mayorstewart@fairmountheightsmd.gov. And I'm going to end this with, I would wish Mr. Pinckney a very speedy recovery. I do want him to come back healed and healthy. And I have a card here if anybody would like to sign. Please do, and that concludes my report. Go ahead.
Also, I did just want to say too, so as we move forward with meetings, we do want to be respectful of people's time, and move through everything, and make sure that everyone gets the chance to be heard, hence the 3 minutes, and for you as well. At any time you guys would like to present or something, we are happy to be able to allow that into the agenda meeting. So if you just reach out to the town clerk, we can get you added to the actual agenda, and then schedule you much more lengthy time so you can be able to actually go through with a presentation or whatever you like. So if you still like to present, we can possibly, if you have that availability open, get you on the schedule so that you guys can present for next month.
Yes.
It will be for next month.
Yes.
And then the protocol is to contact.
Yes, because we weren't aware that you were coming to speak to us today, because I would have put you on the agenda had I known. And then you wouldn't have had to do the participation, the citizen participation part of it.
That's perfectly fine. No,
So,
we will-
thank you for bringing that up. All right, if there is no more, I will accept the motion to adjourn.
I second.
Can I get a second?
Oh, a second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
Oh, let me drop before, don't close the chat yet, town page.
They doing that on Saturday. Everybody else doing it on Friday.
How are you? Thank you.
Let me go out. Y'all.
All right, enjoy your evening. Susan, can you take a vote? Oh, yes. Just one hand, one vote.
No, she said one, that's two.
Just one vote. That's not something she does.
It's still not working. Now it's just blank. Yeah, which...
You read the vote and I'll copy.
Menu. Alright, got it. And now what do I tell it? What do I go to?
So the top is for the council seat, and then the bottom is for the, ethics board.
Council seat, Ashley Atwell, ethics board, Mary.
Yeah.
She got one vote? Okay. You vote, you do this one first. Do all that's all this first.
Alright. Change. Oh, there we go. Got it. Yeah, I think I hear a slight delay, but other than that, it's good.
Ashley Atwell.
True, because of the sub. Okay, good. Well, we're good then.
Patricia Waiters.
Gotcha.
Kim Gladden.
Thank you.
Sherry Barber and Downey.
They are here. Oh, okay. I'm on the Zoom. I'm in the Zoom. They're calling names right
Ashley
now.
Atwell had another one. Patricia Waiters had one.
Oh, I
Gladden
gotcha.
had one. Sherry Barber and Downey had one.
Okay, cool. So, other than that, they're here now. But they haven't officially started yet. I think they officially start 5 minutes. So they're just calling the list of names.
Mary Ann Basson,
Oh, they're in there. Everybody's in here.
John Z. Felder, Joe J.
Alright, cool. No problem.
Here are the votes. One vote for Mary Ann Basson, one vote for John Z. Felder, one vote for Joe Jacobs. One vote for Mary Ann, one vote for John Z. One vote for John Z. Felder, one vote for Joe Jacobs. One vote for John Z. Felder, one vote for Joe Jacobs. One vote for Mary Ann Basson, one vote for John Z. Felder, one vote for Joe Jacobs. One vote for Mary Ann Basson, one vote for John Z. Felder, one vote for Joe Jacobs. I'll read those again. One vote for Mary Ann Basson, one vote for John Z. Felder, one vote for Joe Jacobs. One vote for Mary Ann Basson, One vote for John Felder. One vote for Joe Jacobs. One vote for John Felder. One vote for Joe Jacobs. One vote for Mary Ann Gosselin. One vote for John Felder. One vote for Joe Jacobs. One vote for Mary Ann Gosselin. One vote for John Felder. One vote for Joe Jacobs.
Okay, so it looks like the selection for the ethics board has been made, with the three candidates. So congratulations. We will be reaching back out to you, in the near future to let you know, about some upcoming training and a meeting about the ethics board.
Okay, all right, thank you. And I see everyone.
All right. So now we have to go back to the vacant council seat because we had two for Ash, one for Kim, one for Wade, and one for Bella. So, how do we solve this dilemma? We vote again? Are we going by the majority of votes? Because we don't have the majority, we just have, they have more than one vote. But we don't have a majority. So are we looking for a majority vote, or are we just looking for who got the most votes? From your past experience, anybody?
So I don't know how to handle this. One candidate got two.
This will give you take a brief, intermission again, go back to Dr. Scott. Or we take another vote.
So we got the, so it's all majority for the one that got the most votes. Because right now we don't have a majority vote for the someone got the most votes. So you need to circle that.
If you go back, you're gonna do the same thing, so what's the difference? But come out with probably is what we want to settle with now.
I can't hear you. So she said if we go to the council, it's going to be the same thing, but we just need to make a decision on we're going to go to the person with the most votes. We need to decide who the right is for the majority. So we have a majority vote, not just based on.
Hey, how's it going?
You mean who got the most votes?
Turn my mic on.
We can't hear you all. Oh, sorry. So based on what we have, I just got.
So I must have muted it again, sorry.
He's saying it will basically be the person with the majority of the votes.
It would be the majority of the votes on the side of this seat.
So didn't you all just take a poll for each
You took off for the mic, right?
ethics person?
Oh, so make that, yep.
With the majority vote. Okay. So now you're gonna do it different for the council? Okay, wait, okay, so hold a second. See, first of all, it seems like you don't know what you're doing. That's the first point. The second point, you keep asking what was done before, and it's the decision of the mayor and council to fill the seat. So the charter says 6 plus 1.
Yes.
It's been vacant for quite some time, and you all are still haggling over it. So the decision has to be made tonight.
Yeah, everything's
You all keep
going.
going in the back. The decision should be made in front of the people. Madam Mayor, you keep gauging this on what was done before instead of fill the seat. So, you know, you guys are going back and forth and back and forth. Now, I'm sure because I talk too much, y'all probably gonna vote against me.
Yeah, I think.
But I'm just saying, you guys are going back and forth. The seat needs to be filled, and you keep changing it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when it's not done though, in all honesty, then it's
mixer.
saying, well, this isn't what was done before, so I
Oh,
think
okay.
she's just trying to make
Sorry, I
sure
got
that we
the
are doing it right.
April
But based off of, yeah, and doing it fair, but based off of the way that
Channel
we
one?
just did it now, there is a candidate that has more votes than everyone. So, I mean, as far as I was concerned, that kind of went it, but to the mayor's point, she was saying like the majority, of the votes didn't go towards that person. So you had 3 that all selected for one person, but there is one person that won by the most votes. So technically, is that the right thing? The person that got the most votes wins. So I was, and that's what I was just speaking with Dawson about, you know, like, we want to make sure that she's in line with that too. So she did just confirm that. And then I was relaying that back to the mayor. But the only question was, because if you look at it, there's 2 votes for one person, but there were 3 people who would be considered as a majority that only had 1 vote. So just trying to clarify if the right thing to do is basically to go with the person that got it.
Yeah, on the camera channel 1 and 2 is one.
So maybe you all could take it in the back.
We tried.
We didn't want to sway anybody's decision.
We did go to the back, but we did not discuss.
When you went back to discussion, you did when you went back.
No, but we didn't discuss. In the back, we did not discuss. In the back, I did not discuss a candidate. All I did was say, we need to look for a person who's.
Do I need to change the line?
Come to the meeting. True. Be able to get along with everybody on the council. We stated, what was it, availability, participation in events. That's what all I said, was giving them criteria of what we're looking for, somebody who can meet these goals for us. I didn't say anything about individuals.
No one gave any feedback on anything.
Okay, so wait, Madam Mayor. You didn't, you say you didn't?
Bus 2 was down, so I determined bus 2.
I'm sorry.
You gave them the criteria?
Bus 1
I
is
didn't give
already.
any criteria, just saying what we should be looking for in a candidate.
So there was no discussions of any particular candidate, no one gave any feedback or anything like that.
We just been saying somebody who
Yeah,
can
the
attend the
channels
meeting,
are up,
somebody who knows about the town, knows about the charter.
But I don't see LED going on.
Qualifications of requirements must be represented town of Fairmount Heights, must qualify voter, must be able to attend meetings that was already prior. That's what was in your advertisement. So there was no reason to reiterate that in the back. Further discussion, you guys have heard us, you guys have asked questions, we've asked your questions in front of the citizens. And so, really, there was no reason to go in the back. The last candidate was supposed to come today, ask questions, and the decision was supposed to be made. So, going in the back, fine, but the decision was made before the people. You guys went back in the back and had discussion that was not,
No, I'm sorry, I mean.
we're not privy to. We're not.
Do you want
So,
me to return to the
that you just stated was already before you, because you guys put out the advertisement, so there was no reason to reiterate unless they can read their information, what the requirements were.
But I don't see.
Okay, so let's take one more vote, and whoever gives the majority of the vote, or do we just go with this, the majority of the vote? Let's do it. And I did go to the back, let's do it right here. And then, we did it, I'll give you, you need copies? Yeah, just correct, please.
It says line 2, Steinberg. Or should it be? You said you are 44. So that seems right. Oh, I know why, I know why.
Yeah, no, I didn't. No.
I thought war was coming until we realized.
You know,
I think I
Okay, we'll start on time.
and it's in OBS, so the mic will turn. I closed OBS, but there's no difference. Well, I turned OBS off. I mean, I like exit out of it, but it's still not.
I think Kirsten.
Nothing. what's going on. Is everything's up? It's on the right thing.
One vote. And whoever gets the majority of the votes is that what we agreed to?
So now I have a question on if even with this side, if the change, if there's a different outcome, but we already had an outcome.
Audio settings? Yeah.
I think basically that's,
The candidates are Sherry Garber Downing, Kim Gladden, Ashley Atwell, Patricia Waiters. One vote, Sherry Garber Downing. One vote, Sherry Garber Downing. One vote, Patricia Waiters. One vote, Ashley Atwell. One vote, Ashley Atwell.
Now we have time.
Oh, this is fun. That's it. No more.
I found it, I just found it. Okay. I'm in that.
This is fun.
Yep, the meters are working. But the meters on the master, the meters on the channel. I see one, it says on instant effects, where it says channel change. Let me see something. I mean, there's a meter there, but like, yeah, but as far as in the stereo, I do see meters moving next one.
That's what we do, we learn. I don't see problems, I see opportunities for growth and learning.
thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
Not the microphone, and it's gonna go to Yeah, I know, yeah, I know, no, I don't see anything. Settings? From there, it says test speaker, Steinberg, test mic, Steinberg. So for the speaker right now, it says Steinberg, and for the mic, it says Steinberg.
Okay, so this time around, we have two candidates you can select from, which is Ashley and Sherry. Here's mine.
Not moving.
Had everyone
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, Ms. Wisconsin, you said what? You got your turned over?
Yeah, and what I was selecting. That's all you need. excuse. So who's the vote breaking that tie?
Sherry.
You're only breaking the tie, correct?
You're breaking
Okay.
it.
Well, I'm not breaking the tie. I'm not among the tie breakers.
I think
Well,
if
we don't have
everybody
to
has a
vote.
vote. If you don't submit your vote for either of the candidates, then we might get another time.
There's an even number.
It's even though we
Do
don't
the
know
tie
which
break.
way we possibly have another time.
You can abstain.
We don't know that it's.
I abstain. I can recuse myself.
This is a very important vote.
Yeah.
For you not to recuse yourself from.
But I would have to vote for who I would choose. It's like voting for the president. I'm not gonna put what I'm not behind. That's what I'm saying. So prayerfully, you got what you need. I believe you do.
Okay.
Okay, recusal is what, like a conflict of interest more so, or?
The candidates choose not to do it. The candidates are Sherry Barbara Downing and Ashley Atwell. One vote, Sherry Barbara Downing. One vote, Ashley Atwell. One vote, Sherry Barbara Downing. One vote, Sherry Barbara Downing.
Thank you for your time and attention to this council. I really appreciate that. Ms. Sherry Allen is elected that the vacancy to the council seat. We'll swear you in the next month's meeting. Congratulations. I know you will be well. So I'm going to adjourn this meeting so that we can, is that right? Adjourn this meeting. I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
I would like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right, so in that meeting, we're starting the town meeting. All right. I'd like to call to order the town meeting. Please stand for the roll call, for the pledge of allegiance to the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Today is January 17th. It is now 7:45. Ms. Russell, can you call the roll, please?
Mayor Sticker.
Present.
Vice Mayor Barnhart.
Present.
Councilmember St. John.
Present.
Councilmember Lethbridge.
Present.
Councilmember Dodson.
Here.
Councilmember Foster.
All right, the meeting rules are simple. We allow each and every resident to have an opportunity to speak, but you will only be allowed 3 minutes to talk. We did not get the meeting minutes for approval, so we will approve them next month. Police Department, Chief, will take your report.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens of Fairmount. As I touched on at the work session, about a few different things that were going on in the community in reference to vehicles being broken into and the homicide just outside of the town, where that case was solved and the juvenile was arrested and is being held on no bond status at the detention center of Marlboro.
We have recovered, I'm sorry.
Is this my mic?
What's that?
It's on. Test 1, 2.
I'm just one that I can hear you, but there's just one thing I have to adjust.
Kim said,
Try.
Can we, okay, go ahead, Chief. I think Kim said she can hear you.
As of as of the 15th, as of the 17th, we have 15 calls for service here in the town. Just echoing.
Yeah, no, that's not you. I'm trying to. It's something over here. Sorry.
Are you ready, sir?
Yes, I think so. Yep. There you go.
As of the 17th of this month, we have 15 calls for service here in the town. We have impounded 7 vehicles, and we have issued 23 citations as of the 17th. Our pilot program is still going on. We get ready to move to a different location here in the town, an unnamed location at this time, with new data. Actually, we have a data report on Tuesday to get updates on all of the offenders who come through the town as far as running the stop signs in the intersection of 59th and Veterans Memorial Parkway. I touched on the incident with the gunshot townhouse on Clove, which stemmed from an incident that happened on James Farmer Way on the other side of Sheriff Road. And I touched on briefly about the 24-hour convenience market, which we were really keeping an eye on because it's a 24-hour operation. And it's a trend throughout, not just the county, but in the city as well. Places of operations that stay open 24 hours tend to sometimes have a lot of bad actors in the area at all times of the night. So we are keeping a close eye on that market, formerly known as the Sheriff Road Carryout. Right now, I'm not sure if you guys are watching the news or not, but there's been a trend of ATM robberies at 7-Elevens around Maryland, DC, and Virginia. Now, I know we don't have a 7-Eleven here in the town, but that makes any place vulnerable that has an ATM. These guys are using professional equipment to break into the stores and crack the ATMs open right there in the store and in and out within 3 minutes. Over the last 48 hours, probably a total of between 7 and 8 7-Elevens have been hit. County police, DC police, and Virginia are all working in these cases to try to combine them, along with the FBI. Some of those banks, ATMs that are in the 7-Eleven belongs to banks, which makes it a federal crime at that point. It's just like robbing a bank. So we are, Prince George County Police and DC Police have asked all law enforcement to keep a close eye on the 7-Elevens. These crimes are usually being committed between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. At these 7-Elevens. Some of the 7-Elevens are not even open. If you notice the trend around the county is most 7-Elevens are starting to close now between 11 and 12 o'clock. This past Sunday, the town of Fairmount Heights, along with the police department and First Baptist Church of Fairmount Heights and Reverend Hope and New Abundant Church, we held our first annual community walk here in the town of Fairmount Heights. It started roughly around 1 p.m. At the First Baptist Church of Fairmount Heights, where we probably roughly had about 60, 70, 75 people. And I think that was an outstanding number for our first event. I wasn't sure how the turnout was going to be. I didn't have any type of expectations, and I told the Reverend that if we have 5 people out here, we're going to march with 5, and then hope to get 10 next year. So we had a great turnout. The mayor and some council members participated. We had citizens, we had the town of Sea Pleasant who lended a great hand to us. Sheriff John Carr and Deputy Chief Oliver from the Prince George's County Sheriff's Office took the walk with us, and our own Fairmount Heights officers participated as well. It was a great day to acknowledge Dr. King and his movement and his walk that he did and sacrificed for us. So we wanted to do the same thing. So we're going to start planning next year's event with more than a month. We did this in a month. It may have been shorter than a month. So with some real planning and a little bit of time, I think we should really have a nice event next year. So anybody here who attended that event, thank you very much. It was a very, very cold Sunday and with some snow flurries, so I appreciate you very much. The only other thing that I wanted to mention, and my report will be done, we had some bad weather in this DMV area, snow and ice, and we really kind of escaped that last year and maybe the year before that, but I just want to encourage the citizens to take your time when you're coming through the town. There's going to be a few slick spots, just like tonight. There's a lot of black ice all over the county. I just came from a ceremony in Upper Marlboro, and there's black ice everywhere. So take your time getting around. These side streets have a little bit of black ice. Sidewalks, if your front sidewalk has not been treated, I advise you to treat your sidewalks so your neighbors won't fall or whatever the case may be. And I also want to acknowledge the great work that Public Works have done on that snow day. That morning, Public Works was up between 3 and 5, plowing the snow, came back and dropped salt, and then came back and did the trash, all in the same day. I take my hat off to those guys. Thank you very much.
Before you read, Chief, I'm going to have you present Mr. Pinkney's report. Does anybody have any questions for the Chief? Let me start with you. Anybody with council? All right, Ms. Downs.
Friday night, corner of K Street and Sheriff Road was lit up. How can we as citizens find out what happened that night?
Friday night, K Street and Sheriff.
Lit up.
What time?
Probably maybe around 10, 11. And they were out there for a while. They had police cars, they had fire trucks and ambulance. It almost seemed like it was right around their house.
Oh, that nuisance house across the street?
Yes. You didn't hear anything about that?
No. If it doesn't pop up on, so if it doesn't actually happen in the town, it won't come to me.
But I was wondering, where can we go as citizens? Is there some place like a crime website that we can go to see?
I'll find out. I'm not sure, but I'll find out.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Sometimes you get this stuff on next door.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody reports it, and if you have next door, everybody don't have it.
We love next door.
Are there any other questions for Chief?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, there's a lady in the back and then you back. What's the name?
Oh, okay, thank you. I was just wondering, the juvenile that was arrested for the homicide, was he, did he live in Durham Heights?
No, ma'am.
Okay, do you know why possibly the activity came into to our jurisdiction?
So the incident didn't happen in Fairmount Heights. The only reason why Fairmount Heights is in the news because he was shot somewhere else and he tried to drive away.
Oh.
And as he drove away, he passed out from he succumbed to his wounds, and he crashed in Fairmount Heights. So.
Tell me something, Chief.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was that young lady.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I wanted to know, did y'all get anybody that broke into the car?
So, sounds like somebody doing ice or something. So, I've talked to Major Smith from the county police. We do not have a solid lead. We only know that those same suspects is 6 other cars in D.C. and then other cars in another part of Maryland. Because they had on black coats with a hood and a full mask, those are the only images. So now, everywhere you go, these younger juveniles walk around with masks over their face. So even me as a police officer, I can't tell you to go pull your mask down. So this is part of the problem that's going on. You can't profile, but you got to just kind of stand by and watch and see what happens, and it kind of ties our hands. But we do think those same people were responsible for 2 or 3 other crimes. So they're preparing the video footage that we have, and tomorrow I actually won't be there, but I'll send an email over to the major to see if they came up with anything else. So it was 12 on one street, 2 on another street, 8 on the Nanny Hill Borough side, and then I think 2 on Eastern. And then there was another part of the county, I'm not sure.
And what can y'all do about police flooding between 2 and 5?
So we actually have patrols, and this is one of the things that, I explained. If we're having patrols, and I got an officer on K Street, and I got one on Lee Place, and I got one. It's still 50 other streets that they're not going to be covered. So I don't care if I had 12 officers over here, we still got another 35 streets that are not going to be covered. This is one of the reasons why you see the officers ride around all day long, and they're documenting every place that they go, every street that they go, and the time that they go. And we try to double back, especially now that we identify places that we need to keep a closer eye on. And when we're not here, then I send that same information on to the county police. And look, tonight, tomorrow, whatever, I need a heavy rotation of people riding around this area. It's a crime of opportunity. This is a very quiet town tonight. It's a very quiet town tonight. And sometimes when they come through, it's a very quiet town. They hit right here, they dip right back into D.C. The next day they come, hit on another part of, not Coral Hills, what's this? Cedar Heights. 2 or 3, they dip back over into D.C. It's just we're playing from behind. And we're playing from behind because that's just the way a lot of the rules and the laws are set up. But we're trying to do everything we can do. But again, we got 50 streets here in town. We're trying to hit all 50 of them in a day, double back to the ones who might have had an incident here, here, and here, and then try to keep an eye on it as best as possible. Because it's, at one point we thought, hey, that was the problem between 2 and 3 o'clock. No. We got broad daylight people coming back trying to knock windows out or go into somebody's houses. Somebody made a suggestion, well, I don't think we need police officers during the day. You absolutely need police officers during the day. For the people who don't work from home, those people are gone to work for 8 hours. That means their house is unattended for 8 hours. So you have to have somebody in at that time. So we are making adjustments on the fly every day of how we're going to police this. But not just help with from the county police, but City of Sea Pleasant has kind of like helping us on that same corner of Foot Street, 62nd, on down. If they're seeing something, they're reporting to us, and whatever we got, we report it back to them, and just trying to combine it together. The only way we're going to get this thing and try to get ahead if we all just pull together with this between Sea Pleasant, Fairmount Heights, and the county police, and our neighbors in D.C. because they've been a help as well. Because 80% of our crime goes back and forth all day long. And D.C. laws are a little bit more stricter than Prince George's County. That's one of the reasons why the mayor is trying to push emergency legislation to have the laws changed so it can kind of help out, give us a helping hand a little bit. So.
Any other questions for the chief? All right.
That concludes your report, Chief?
Yep, that concludes my
Please
report.
present Mr. Pinckney's code enforcement report.
Yep, I'll run through this briefly. The code enforcement period issued 5 civil citations totaling $4,250. Building permits, 5 building permits totaling $1,716.48. Business licenses, there were 6 business licenses issued at totaling $3,345. Rental license, 1, totaling $100. For this period, we have not received any vacant building fees. A stop work order was issued at 708 59th Avenue. I believe he spoke on that a little bit in the last work session. And I think that because of the historical fact, they needed to make sure they had the proper information about, I think something about the siding or something on the house like that. I'm not going to go fully into his report about that. On January 3rd, Mr. Pinckney went to district court in Hyattsville in reference to Mr. Solomon Hamilton's his junkyard / bail bondsman or whatever. The judge reduced his fine from $1,000 to $500 plus court costs, and then suspended the $500 fee and told him to pay the $5 court cost. He has 6 months to bring his property into compliance. If the property is not brought into compliance, the original fees will be applied. That's a long time, 6 months, but I'm not a judge. Mr. Pinckney would like to thank Ms. Walker for the Christmas luncheon. Thank you, Ms. Walker. It was a great luncheon. It was really catered well, a lot of love into it. The decorations were great. Thank you. Public Works received a large order of boulders from Brandywine Gravel to be placed at the entrance of 5450 Addison Road and K Street and 60th Avenue and K Street. They will prevent vehicles from driving on the walk path and tracking mud. So I'm not sure if you guys know what that property is. It's kind of like a cut through from the Circle onto Addison Road. I think it's like a house over from former Mayor Martin's house, and they were using that as a cut through. So there have been large boulders put there to stop that cut through traffic. People have to use their driveway, come out the proper way around the Circle, or out the other way onto Addison Road. So, and that's his report.
Thank you very much. Any questions for code enforcement? Thank you, Chief. Oh, I'm sorry.
Is that dealing with the speed limits?
No, this is code enforcement. Ms. Walker will do your report, and then we'll have Vice Chair read Mr. Rooney's town manager report.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, colleagues, and citizens. I'm presenting my report through the end of December. So our budgeted revenue for the year is $1,129,789. We have received $567,539, of which the biggest amount has come from our general revenue, which is $436,530. Our general revenue includes our property taxes, building permits, operating properties, which is basically our property taxes from businesses. And it's not just businesses, it's also from utility companies as well. Licenses, which is for business licenses and rental unit licenses, and then registrations for vacant lots and vacant dwellings. As of the end of December, we had collected $11,555 from business licenses. Our expenses for the year, we have budgeted $1,437,000. We have spent $561,519. Expenses include our overhead for the town, our personnel costs, as well as our vehicle costs, our vehicle maintenance, our fuel for our vehicles, as well as our utilities. Mayor and Council, I would like to spend time next month going over the financial information in a little bit more detail. More than likely, the best time to do that would be at the work session versus the town meeting, because the town meeting is really the time for the citizens to be able to participate. But we are halfway through the month, so it'd be a good time to review in a little bit more detail. At the bottom of your report, you will see that I've given you a summary. We have 3 vehicles that we currently have loans on. We have the dump truck, and that will be paid off in 2025. The balance of that is $15,960. The trash truck, which we paid off in 2025, balance is $51,457. And the pickup truck, that's the truck that we just purchased, we paid off in 2028. The balance $39,486. We did have a repair that had to be done to the trash truck. Our public works supervisor took care of taking the truck in for that repair. That repair was not a major repair. It wasn't something that was covered by a warranty, nor was it something that was a recall. It was a switch that went bad, and we had to have that switch fixed. A couple updates. We are in the process of renovating the bathrooms with the bond money that we received. At the last meeting, I was asked to take a look at possibly having larger partitions, taller partitions versus the short ones that we had. That turned out to be a little bit more challenging than I thought it was going to be. So I will send you, I believe it's tonight, because I asked the gentleman vendor to try to have everything to me by this meeting. He did reach out to me today and said he had received information from the vendor for the partition, so I will send that to you so you can review that. We're going to have to go back and take a look, because by using taller partitions, it's going to be a more expensive. It's going to be a larger cost for that. And then we also do need to make a final decision on the flooring, because the flooring in the bathrooms right now is concrete. And so we talked about putting down some type of tile. And so we need to take a look at that cost and see what that cost would be as well. I did meet with Ms. Sarumi about the PEPCO grant. I'm not going to, only because Ms. Sarumi is not here, so I'm not going to go into a lengthy conversation about it. There are no issues with it. I simply had a question about the funding and what we're going to use the funding for that we've received from the grant, which is $10,000. But within the grant, there's also verbiage that speaks of the highway user funds. And so how much are we going to use from highway user? So once we met, we had some things we needed to work out, and then we can make a final decision on that. We also talked about the art grant, and no disrespect to any decision that had been made. But I shared with Ms. Sarumi that I did not have confirmation that the art grant was going to be used for the curb and guttering. I certainly don't have a vote on it, and I'm not trying to sway any decision that has been made. I just want to make sure that if that's how the funds are going to be spent or were to be spent, that I just have something, if it's the minutes or if it's a vote or what have you, because those are grant funds. I'm always very careful to make sure that if we say that we were going to use something, or if the grant says it could be used for that, then that's how we used it. If it was something other, if there was another intention for those funds, that we make sure that we use it for that intention. So Ms. Remy and I said we would come back and circle back to that and talk about it. And certainly if that's how the funds were to be used, then at the next meeting, I will give, if that's how the funds were to be used, I will give you an update on the funds we've used from the art grant to paint the curb and guttering. If it was to be used or is to be used for something different, I don't believe we've used it for anything different at this time. We would then need to talk about how you would like to use that grant. Those are the major things that I wanted to update us on tonight. And the top of your report has the wrong month. I will correct this and send you a revised. It says September. It should say December town meeting. And that's it from the mayor.
That's the numeric part, the month schedule.
All right. Any questions for the treasurer?
I don't have any.
Did we get a quote, or have we received our quotes for the visual audio? For this?
Yes, we have one, we still have to get 2 more. And we have requested quotes from other vendors, they just have not responded. So I'm continuing to look for vendors, as well as I've reached out to a couple other towns to see what vendors they're using and try to reach out to those same vendors.
Thank you. Any questions for citizens, for the public?
I do.
Oh, okay. Ms. Barner? Yeah,
I'm fine.
so you can say.
Ms. Walker, I'm just want to ask a question. We talked last year sometime toward the end of the year about the reports. Are we moving forward with getting a copy of the reports?
Yes, and that's why I said what I did, is why I wanted to spend some more time with some more detail, because I want to make sure that I'm being clear and not just kind of going through, giving summaries. I want to go through some more detail, and I'll make sure that you have a copy, or everyone has a copy at the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, all right.
Thank you, Ms. Walker.
You're welcome.
All right, treasurer's report, she's not here, she's not feeling well. Vice? The town manager is under the weather, so Vice Chair Von Hart is going to give her report for tonight.
Good evening, everyone. This is for Doris Sarumi, the town manager report. Some of her report, it was already given in December, and I'm looking right at it doing the comparison. But the 3-year salt utility agreement has expired. The agreement was between the Maryland State Highway Administration. During the winter, MDOT supplies municipality with salts. Economic and Development Net Zero Housing Initiative partnership. The Net Zero Housing Project consists of 7 housing units. Foundation construction of 6 housing units located on 60th Lake continue and will continue to work through February. Bad soil was discovered by the contractors. Thus, they brought in additional soil. HIP will be meeting with the Citizens Association on the 22nd of January 2024. According to Tom Gross, planner of the NCPP, 2 historic houses were sold. The Samuel Hargrove House at 5907 K Street, the historic resource built 1918 was sold January 5th, 2024 for $240,000. The Tile Brooks House at 708 59th historic resource built was sold on December 1st for $2,225,000. Preparation for Black History Month, the town purchased 3 display cabinets that are placed in the entrance lobby and in the inner lobby. Over the years, she has been collecting artifacts that will be placed on display. She wanted to thank the Morris family and the council member Wood Dotson, former council member Mayor Waiters, and many other donations that will hopefully someday will be placed in the town museum. The community development team is meeting January 18th, 2024 at 7 p.m. and the green team will be meeting on January 25th, 2024. And that concludes her report.
Thank you, Vice Chair. Mr. Barnhart, do you know what time and the location of the January 22nd meeting?
It'll be by Zoom at 7 p.m. and we'll send the link out.
Okay, thank you. Since Mr. Rooney's here, we can't take any questions, but that's all I had. All right, so now we're moving down under old business. So the selections for the ethics board and the council team have been made. So we're ready. Thank you, council, for that. The next agenda item is the State of Maryland Open Meetings Compliance Board. So there was a complaint filed against the town of Fairmount Heights for being in violation of the Open Meetings Act. So once the ruling comes out, we have to read it publicly. So the complaint alleges that we violated, the Open Meetings Act pertaining to notices, agendas, closed sessions, and meeting minutes. So it was the agenda that we violated, violated stuff on the agenda, notice of meeting cancellations we violated. I mean, this was in the complaint, not violated. Closed session, we had a violation written up on that, and the meeting minutes. The conclusion of this was, and I'm reading it from their report, and I will provide a copy on the website. We do not have enough information to determine whether the council violated the act by failing to provide notice as soon as practical that the meeting was canceled, or by discussing in closed session a matter that should have been discussed in open meeting. We do, however, conclude that the council violated 302.1 A by failing to make available to the public an agenda for a meeting. The council also violated 3-306B parentheses 1 by failing to prepare meeting minutes for closed session, and 3-306E2 by failing to post minutes online to the extent practical. The opinion is subject to acknowledgement and announcement requirements of 3-211. So council, we have to do a better job of making sure we get our minutes posted online, and our agendas online as well. So that's been read into a public meeting. Anybody have any questions about this report? I can post it online so you guys can read it in its entirety. Any questions? The purchase of the sea container, the next agenda item. Mr. Burley is selling it for $2,500. I'll accept a motion. He's going to provide us with a bill of sale so that Susan can produce a check, but I will accept a motion to purchase the sea container for $2,500 from the council.
I accept the motion to purchase the, I propose a motion to purchase the container for $2,500 from Mr. Burley.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So everybody voted to approve that. So what, he did reach out to me today. Once he gives me the bill of sale, I'll forward it to you. Thank you. I'll also accept a motion to appoint Ms. Russell as our clerk to the council.
I would like to, make a motion to, appoint Ms. Russell as clerk to the council.
I second.
First one.
I'm sorry, it was a discussion?
No, I just have a question.
Oh, please.
Will Ms. Russell be able to fulfill, it was always a conflict with Ms. Tucker, with her even being virtual right now. There's a lot that needs to be done in her first, clerk to the council. We seem to have done within the brief time that we had a clerk to the council. It only is feasible for us as a council to have a person, here. So will she have the opportunity to be here at all the meetings that we as a council would have, that won't be conflicting with her daytime, being she gonna do both? Right.
She seems to believe she can do both. I don't see an issue. She's very knowledgeable. She can multitask. So.
Okay. What is she here tonight?
She's under the weather. I think it's a bug going around. A lot of people are getting sick.
No, I'm just saying it wasn't, no one said anything. I just.
But she is online. She's just not in the building. But she is online. So I'll accept the motion to appoint Ms. Russell as our clerk to the council. She kind of cut it off, so.
Okay, yeah, I'm making the motion to, appoint Mrs. Russell as the clerk of the council.
Okay. I second. All in your vote?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Ms. Woodall?
I recuse myself.
Okay. All right, so that motion is passed, thank you. Mr. Rooney is not here with we didn't sign the resolution because it hasn't been sent received back from the attorney with the corrections for the resolution with the tree training people, so we're gonna,
I'm here, by the way, from Department of the Environment online.
I can't hear what she said.
I'm sorry, girl, can you repeat it? Yes, this is Carol Barth with the Department of the Environment.
Hey,
I'm,
Carol.
I'm with you by Zoom.
What she said?
She said she's with the Department of the Environment, she's with us by Zoom.
Oh, yeah, we got it, Carol. We're just waiting on, oh, well, we can't go ahead. We didn't get an opportunity to review the contract yet, so we're gonna, table it until next month. The lawyer hasn't gotten the contract back to us.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought I had seen it.
I didn't get it back.
Okay.
I think he had to make a correction.
I know she sent us a resolution, but I don't know why.
She said she had to make
I had asked that the agenda be corrected, and that was done.
It was done?
Yeah, so as far as I know, everything's good to go. I don't want to rush you, but if you could do it, it would be great.
On Friday.
It's from Mr. Room?
Mm-hmm.
Did everybody get an opportunity to review it? I'm sorry, you did?
I did.
So we can go ahead and, vote to sign this resolution?
I mean, we can pass you sign it. Is it already printed off?
No, it's not.
We can agree.
Okay.
Sign
Mayor,
it.
it has to be read. The resolution has to be read.
That's right, the whole thing.
Yeah, it's not.
Has to be read into the record.
Kirsten, this is your bills, introduce, can you read the resolution?
And it's the whole thing.
Yeah, there's a resolution number.
We'll put a number. We can put a number in there. We don't have any resolutions for this year.
Yeah, but you gotta read the number and everything as you read it, so you can just approve the corrections.
Okay, there we go. You want it? I got it on my big tab.
I can do that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
You just need the number. For the resolution, for the trees. There's no number to it.
Town of Fairmount Heights resolution, a resolution to approve Prince George's County Department of Environment, DOE, and the Clean Water Partnership, CWP, its contractors and assigns to allow access and entry to municipal properties and rights of way within the town of Fairmount Heights in order to design, survey, locate utilities, test soil, locate and plant trees, and perform other duties in connection with installation and establishment of urban trees. Introduced by Kirsten Lutledge. Whereas by House Bill 991, the General Assembly established within the Tree Solution Act of 2021 that it is the policy of the state to support and encourage public and private tree planting efforts with the goal of planting and helping to maintain 5 million sustainable native trees in the state by the end of calendar 2031, and that it is the further intent of the General Assembly that at least 500,000 of those trees be in underserved areas, and whereas it is the goal of the town to increase the native tree canopy on public and common land to help improve air quality, wildlife habitat, conserve energy, and reduce stormwater runoff, and whereas the tree canopy program leverages any existing program and provides trees at a low or no cost to the town, and whereas the Clean Water Partnership is a 30-year partnership between Prince George's County, Maryland, and Corvius Infrastructure Solutions, LLC, to design, build, operate, and maintain stormwater assets, and is based on the community-based public-private partnership CBP3 model as developed by the US EPA Regional 3, and whereas To implement the Fairmount Heights Urban Tree Planting Plan, the town desires the clean watershed to install trees under the county's urban tree program on designated properties and the rights of way within the municipality. And whereas the town partnered with the Anacostia Watershed Society, the Maryland Black Mayors Association, the Prince George's County Initiative Partnership, PEPCO, and Sustainable Maryland to include tree plans within their town project plans. And whereas DOE will provide the town with field mapping to show existing trees, tree removal, invasive trees, fire hydrants, water meters, and any other utility lines. And whereas the DOE seeks a right to access to plant trees within the town's public space and right-of-ways through the DOE's urban tree program. And whereas the project will include an establishment and warranty period of 18 months or as required by the provider of all trees and related supplies. And whereas the town charter, Article 5, General Powers, Section 13, authorizes the council to make agreements with other municipalities, counties, districts, bureaus, commission, and government authorities for the joint performance of or for cooperation in the performance of any government functions. And whereas the town charter, Article 5, Section 38, deemed minor privileges, authorizes the council to regulate or prevent the use of public ways, sidewalks, and public spaces for signs, awnings, posts, steps, railing, entrance racks, posting handrails, and advertisements, and display of goods, wares, and merchandise. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the town council hereby approves and grants permission to DOE of Prince George's County, its contractors, and assigns with the right to access and entry to properties and rights of ways within the town of Fairmount Heights to design, survey, locate utilities, test soil, locate, plant trees, and perform other duties in connection with the installation and establishment of trees. Be it further resolved that the town council hereby approves and grants permission to the Clean Water Partnership, including the county and its contractors, and assigns with the right of access and entry to properties and rights of way within the town of Fairmount Heights in order to design, survey, locate utilities, test soil, locate, plant trees, and perform other duties in connection with installation and establishment of the trees. Be it further resolved that the town council further delegates the town manager or the mayor the requisite authority to execute on behalf of the town any appropriate indemnification or liability release of forms approved by the town attorney for legal sufficiency deemed necessary to protect the legal interests of the town. Be it further resolved that this resolution shall take effect upon its passage, and the mayor is authorized to sign it on behalf of the council. Approve this 14th. Oh, yeah, we have to change the date. So it will be approved this, it's the 17th. My calendar's not right. The 17th day of January 2024. Roll call vote. Do I have to read that section as well?
No, we'll take the vote.
Okay, so there is a section for all of the council members to sign and attest the town of Fairmount Heights, Maryland, by our mayor.
So we will, I'll accept the motion to vote to approve this resolution with corrections. Is that correct, Mr. Dodd? Okay. I'll accept the motion to pass this resolution with corrections.
I make a motion this evening to pass this resolution with corrections.
All right, so we'll just go down the line. Barnhart?
Come back to me.
All right, St. John?
Yes, I guess. Or yeah.
Leftwood?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yeah.
Mayor Jeffs? Councilwoman Barr?
Yes.
The motion has been passed with corrections. We will make the corrections with the date, add the resolution number, and then have it printed out for everyone to sign. Thank you.
gonna move down to, reports. Ms. Woodhouse, I'm gonna let you go first.
A part of my report is, within this month, I attended the District 5 with Jolene Ivey and Senator Benson that was over in, by Woodmore, where they spoke in regard to the infrastructure that's getting ready to come, that's gonna be impactful for us as well. Where Woodmore Commons is, a Lidl is gonna be put up there. There was a conflict about commercial property where they were asking questions in regard to Royal Farms and the 7-Eleven being built there. Like they said, when you get a commercial property and it's deemed commercial, there can be two of similar entities there. That's just a part of the buyer's project and the demographics that were generally appointed there because it's prime property in PG County. They spoke in regard to the light there on 202 where St. Joseph's is, that they're getting ready to do something different because kids coming from school, parents coming from work trying to get kids to their activities, that's a holdup. So they're going to try to reallocate the direction of what's being done there. They're doing some revision in regard to the projects of the lighting. DPW is going to do something in regard to possibly another entry to go to St. Joseph's Church or behind, down by Wetlands. They have more property there. My other project would be speaking on Senator Vinson's meeting that will be the 22nd of this month at 9 o'clock. She's encouraging as many to come to her 202 coalition because she has a lot that she would like, you know, our community to be in part with. I will be starting, I'm glad to know, we do have another council person, so possibly Sherry can work with me in regard to the residential repair program that's going to be kicking off soon. We'll probably be submitting, putting applications and really advertising out in the community. And that's my report.
When do you anticipate putting the information out about the program to the community?
Hopefully by next month. Hopefully by next month, at least to see who will gravitate to wanting it to be done and see if they qualify for the program.
Okay, are you going to do the same type of review of the program like we did for the utility assistance? Remember how the council got together on Zoom and we talked about the program and the criteria and all that? And we gave like our feedback. Are we going to do that, or you just going to go with what we've already got written?
Well, what is written seems to be very informational, but being that Kirsten is a specialist in it, I'll speak with her a little more to see what her directions are.
Just make sure before we put any documents out, they've all been reviewed.
Oh, yeah, I'm not going to do it without asking.
All right, thank you for your report. Councilwoman Lethbridge.
Okay, good evening, everyone. My report would not be as long as that resolution. I got through it, but but yeah, that woke me up. So I'm just going to be just brief for the sake of time, but I just wanted to touch on a couple things. The community development team meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, the 18th, at 7 o'clock p.m. And I'm extending an open invitation. It won't be long, but I wanted to actually start to get the wheels moving on community development, economic development, whatever you want to, however you want to put it. We definitely need that, and I'm extending an open invitation if anybody wants to be here tomorrow evening.
It's in person or Zoom?
It's in person. I think we may have future ones on Zoom, but I believe she intended it to be in person. Ms. Rooney. So there are a couple of different avenues that we're looking at as far as funding, as well as the perhaps getting some additional funding from the state. DHCD has a Main Street Improvement Grant and other opportunities that could actually kickstart economic revitalization. So I'll be meeting with Christine McPherson, Assistant Director with Community and Economic Development Partnerships, Division of Neighborhood Revitalization. That is her specialty. So I'm going to actually be meeting with her, and actually, I don't have the date. I'm meeting with her actually soon, February 8th. I'm meeting with her, and then also at the same time, there's Sustainable Communities Grant Application Workshop that I'm going to be attending with Ms. Cerrone to learn about 3 state revitalization programs, and that's on February 6th. So February will be a little bit busy just trying to find out which or if all the funding would help. So at the meeting tomorrow, we will identify what the priorities are, and that's why I'm extending an open invitation, because I want to hear from the citizens to find out exactly what you have in mind. As far as I'm concerned, I believe we do need more business to come into our town, but we have to actually have a place for them to conduct such business. So I am open to suggestions, but one thing that I immediately want to start working on is a building for our public works. I believe that that is something, there is an opportunity to obtain a property, but we need to see if they're willing to sell to us, and I'll give more information once I find that out. And the other thing was that there was a meeting with Councilwoman Anderson with the town of Capitol Heights. She has expressed an interest to partner with the town on a number of different initiatives. One was the food giveaway. They have a food giveaway every Sunday, and they've been doing it for an entire year, and they're basically exhausted. So they would like to extend an invitation to us first to see if we wanted to take a Sunday. And what we would do is that would be our Sunday to promote our food giveaway. They would actually, they get their food from Trader Joe's and Whole Foods. So we would, if the town and the council is okay with it, I would actually get back with her and express our interest and take it a Sunday, possibly the 3rd or 4th Sunday, I'm not sure. And we would actually volunteer that day. If there's anyone in the town who want to volunteer as well. There are already, there are regulars that come, so maybe I think it's close to 100 people that come, but they have more than enough for our citizens to come as well and take part in the free food giveaway. And also, the town of Capitol Heights has expressed an interest in collaborating with the City of Sea Pleasant, the town of Fairmount Heights, and of course the town of Capitol Heights to do a resource fair. They want to do it on a larger scale and have 3 different municipalities join together and do something, just share information and resources, and they would actually have transportation available for our citizens to get there. So it would be like a resource fair with health information, other information that's available that they may not know about as far as like home ownership or home repairs or whatever the case may be, just a huge resource fair. And I'll get more information that'll be forthcoming in the conversation. And the other thing was they also expressed that they are willing to provide transportation to our seniors. They have a new van that could help our citizens get around as well. We would have to coordinate if it pleases the council to move forward with that opportunity as well. So again, I think that's it. It's just a lot of meetings coming up so I can get these grants started and get some money for our town. And I believe that's it.
Thank you. When do you want to solicit a date on a
Sunday from the council to host the food?
She did not give me a date, so I guess we could actually propose that we did like the third Sunday or first Sunday.
Will we just keep like one day?
Yeah, that would be our day so that we would know, and they have like long-standing volunteers that could lend a hand to, let's say only 3 of us could do it. But they have like 15 people that every Sunday they're there.
What's the hours?
Helping out. It starts at 3 p.m., I believe. Yeah, it starts at 3, and it's usually over by 5, like, they're done, yeah.
Thank you. Councilwoman St.
Good evening, everyone. So not much on my report tonight. Now that the website is all done. So I did communicate, thank you. So I did communicate in last week's work session that I wanted to start get the ball rolling for different various committees. So I'm going to be working with Ms. Russell to draft up some different flyers and just kind of come up with a list of different type of incentives. We did hear from the public. Thank you, citizens, for your participation on that, just trying to get ideas of the different things that we can do. So I'm going to be compiling a list of those things so that they can be presented by the next work session meeting so that we can start getting these committees rolling and have people start to join so we can further expand all of the different things that we're proposing to do for the town. I was reached out by, and I have to get the name, Mr. PJ Benetti from the Maryland Forward Party. And I attended last Thursday the Maryland Party, the Maryland Forward Party, I want to make sure I say it right, their multi-jurisdictional legislative meeting. And that was kind of just to talk about local municipalities, ranked choice voting, and things of that nature towards election time. So something that was as of interest to me as a new council member, just kind of learning the ropes for how that goes for next time around. I know we want to kind of start nipping in the bud and getting things more documented by processes more in detail. So I'll be attending another meeting with them Friday morning at 9 a.m. to kind of see what those details entail, and then hopefully bring some good information back to us to help just kind of enhance that experience come next time election, and hopefully there's some other information involved with that as well that can help us benefit in the town. Also, I spoke about last week our town newsletter. So we have decided that we're going to come up with a quarterly newsletter. This newsletter is going to consist of different various parts of information, kind of highlights from our town work sessions, our town meetings to kind of sum up for you guys anything that you may have missed if you weren't able to attend or reflect back. So I'm hoping to have that first newsletter out by the end of March. So still accepting feedback for anyone that has any details or contributions that they'd like, but we're also looking to use it as highlights for any businesses or any citizens that may have things going on that they'd like to also publicize or advertise as well. So there'll be more to come on that. I'd like to also highlight just a few events. So for this month that just passed, Sergeant Morris as well as Mac both had birthdays, so happy birthday to them. We also have a flyer, and I'm going to leave yours for you, Mayor, but I also wanted to announce that the National Planning Academy, the NPA, I know a few months ago there was some talk about that before, but now is the time again to enroll for that course. It is a free 7-week planning course for anyone that is interested, and you would submit your applications through. So it looks like they'll be taking applications, and classes start April the 3rd. So if anyone has been interested in joining the Neighborhood Planning Academy, now is the time to go ahead and start trying to get your seat in there. Also, I wanted to announce that this month was actually National Teen Driving Awareness Month. So I did some digging and found out that Maryland is one of the top numbers for teen driving issues. So they have a little article, I've posted it to social media, just trying to encourage teens. The number one thing that they say usually typically cause accidents is teens texting and driving. So there's some information and awareness on that as they celebrate that this month, as well as Lionel's Driving School. So my daughter actually participated in that program and got a free scholarship for her driving. She did that last year, but you can register before February the 28th, and on our site we also have posted just all the requirements. They prefer that you're a junior or a senior, and it's from ages 16 to 18, but it's a free course. They'll literally take you through the what am I trying to say, the wording part of it, the going through the books, the learning everything that you need to know, and then they also take you out on the road. So it's about, I think, a 3-month course for that, and then they start taking you out on the road driving. So my daughter just literally got her permit 3 weeks ago, so I definitely encourage people to share that because that is definitely a great opportunity. And then lastly, I have the Park and Rec. So on the 19th of January, they are hosting, so anybody that wants to have fun, they're hosting a glow ice skate night. So that's at the Park and Wellness, the Columbia one. I wanted it. Herbert Wells Ice Skating Park. So they'll be doing that on the 19th, and it's free, first come, first serve for a certain amount, and then they'll start charging a small fee. And that is MLK Day. Also, Chief already talked about MLK Day. That walk was definitely a great experience. So we have footage and pictures from that event on the website and online as well. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Vice Chair Barnard?
My report is short. On January 18th at 6:30, 6800 Marlboro Pike in Forestville, they are having a book launch. The authors of this best-selling book, The Black Family's Guide to College Admissions, because me and Ms. Walker is actually trying to come up with some type of scholarship funding for our youth in the community that's graduating from 12th grade. I do know of 3 to 4 teenagers that's graduating from the 12th grade this year from Fairmount Heights, and one of the parents already gave me their information. I'm trying to see if I want to have them do an essay, a contest, or some type of some type of way we can give funding back to our youth. There's also the Prince George's County Scholarship Promise Scholarship tuition. I have the flyer right in my hand. Scholarship opportunity for recent high school graduates. They want you to apply now. Requirements for all students. Recent graduate of Prince George's County Public School, private, homeschool, from 2023 to 2024. Reside in Prince George's County and first-time college student. Also, we received an email from Ethan Sweet. He is the community liaison for Congressman Glenn Ivey. They are inviting everyone to the extended invitation for the Gun Violence Survivors Week Action Summit on Capitol Hill on January 26th. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, Friday, January 26th. If you want to participate, there gives a email address and a telephone number where you can call and participate. Congressman Glenn Ivey hosts the inaugural Prince George's County Gun Violence Survivors Week Action, Capitol Hill, to convene national advocacy groups focused on reducing gun violence, locally impact the individual, families, and local activities. Let me see. That's it. The rest of the stuff I have to research on for you. And Black History Month is next month, so I'll do my other report then. And that's it.
Thank you. So I just want to start off by saying it's been really fun so far since May. A couple of things that I want to discuss with the council is we have to start conducting charter reviews starting next month. I'm going to pick a Saturday where we open it up to the public. It's an open meeting, and we start doing charter reviews. Maybe try to create a board to help us with it, but that needs to start because the charter hasn't. I mean, the rule is every 3 years you should be reviewing your charter and making updates. A lot of people do. Oh, sorry. A lot of people do the. My mic wasn't on.
Oh, it's on. It's on now. All right. Sorry. Try that again.
starting in February, trying to get people from the community to help us with that. A lot of people update their charter through ordinances and resolutions. I think we should just do a whole revamp to our charter because it's really outdated. I'm also going to go ahead and move forward with the training for parliamentary. So I'm going to plan that. We attended the Peace Walk. I actually had a really good time despite it being very, very cold. It was very nice to be out there. I shared my glove with one of my council members. We were out there one-handing it, but we had a good time. It was camaraderie with the people, the citizens. As we walked through the community, one of the things I saw a lot of people saying, what's going on? What's going on? What y'all doing? What y'all doing? And we were like, it's a peace walk. Come on out, join us. And it was like, oh, next year. So we definitely we got to make sure we put it out to the community well in advance, like Chief said, so that we can get more participation. It was just a very nice event. I met with Mr. Wade from the Wade Funeral Home, myself and the chief. That's a new business that's coming into town. We're gonna have a funeral home. Did y'all know that? Yeah.
Wow. Cool.
Right there at the, what's that corner?
Addison Road.
Addison, and it's on the library corner with the old hair salon and the barber shop used to be. They won't be doing any cremation, just a regular funeral home. We'll be doing some embalming and no services, just viewing. Meaning you come in and get to view the body before the funeral. And then they're gonna partner with the church and the community to host these events, their funerals. So we do have some economic development, right? Starting in February, Chief, you and I will be doing the coffee and chats with the seniors. We're gonna pick a date in February and advertise it so that we can start that ball rolling. And I think that concludes my report. I will give a state of the town at next month's meeting. All right, that concludes all reports. So let's move down the agenda to, I'm sorry, y'all. I felt like my desk was too messy and now I organized it too much. Yep, we're gonna open it up to citizens' participation. If you'd like to say anything, you have to come up here, give your name. You have to give your address, but just the street that you live on. Anybody in the building can come in first. Open it up, and then we'll open it up. Any questions online? Yes, please come up here because they're not going to be able to hear you from right here.
I'm not sure if they want to go.
Ma'am, did you, citizens' participation, would you like to say anything?
No, me.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no.
Okay. Ms. Walker? Oh, one more thing, I'm sorry. I forgot to mention, and I opened it up, and she reminded me. So on February 3rd, here at the Town Hall lower level, they're doing a free health screening event where you can come here and get your temperature, wellness check, body temperature, blood pressure taken, pulse, weight, oxygen, and more. It's a free service that's being offered throughout the PG County. And it's called, the Health Empowerment Network of Maryland. So if you need any type of health services, please come to the Town Hall on February 3rd, starting at 10 a.m. here at the lower level. Thank you, that's all I got. Sorry to interrupt your time.
You know what time it's gonna be here?
10 a.m. 10 to 2. 10 to 2.
Who's sponsoring that?
It is we're hosting it here, but it's a former Mayor Grant from Sea Pleasant. He's hosting it. I can send you the flyer if you'd like to have it. But it is posted on our website and our social media.
I'll be on the website tonight.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Parker, I'm sorry.
So, put my 3 minutes on. Good evening, everyone. Martez Barnhart, President of the Citizen Association. December the 16th, the Citizen Association, we participated in the Christmas party for the Prince George's County Coalition. That was with Ms. Belinda Queen and others attended there. Congressman Ivy was there, Chief Aziz. Sorry about that. Chief Aziz, and also Sheriff Carr was there with other elected officials, and Senator Nick Charles showed up. Councilwoman Dawson was there, and former Councilwoman Waiters was there. It was a good event. They gave away prizes. They talked about citizen, civic, and HOA associations, and how they're going to be collaborating in the future. So it was a good event. Plenty of food. It was very inspirational for seeing everybody come together from all over the county. Was there. We also joined with them as far as their coalition, because they're asking for other associations to be in partnership with them. What they're finding out is that a lot of these organizations are getting older and people are not involved as they should. So what the coalition is doing is building a unified citizen and civic association with HOAs. That's what they're doing. December the 23rd, we also attended the 4th Annual District 24 Christmas Charity Event with Senator Benson. They gave away toys, clothes, food. There was just so many people that showed up that needed resources, and they had, gave away some good stuff. Again, Councilwoman Dawson was there. Former Councilwoman Ms. Waiters was there as well. Sheriff Carr showed up, and his whole crew, so it was well protected. It was a nice event. He also talked about Fairmount Heights High School. Senator Benson, as though she's a former educator, she has some concerns about Fairmount Heights High School and the direction that it should be going into by parking and planning, and about the community and the citizens that's in that impacted area should be involved with whatever decisions that's going to be made with that building. Right now, it's being destroyed. It's being, vandalized. People are squatting in it, and she wanted to meet with the Citizen Association, Sheriff Carr, and others this month. 3 minutes up there, good. Wow. Okay. Can I take the 3 minutes?
No, you can't.
Okay, but the last thing I'm gonna say is that January 22nd, Citizen Association, HIP, and PEPCO is having this meeting about the microgrid. We were asked that the mayor and council and citizens of the town really take some interest in this right here. What we're finding out is that it's a concern or possible concerns about the microgrid. The microgrid is basically 6 lithium-ion batteries that's going to be stored in a facility next to the net zero homes. Concern. So we want to get some information. We haven't gotten information from HIP or PEPCO about it yet. So we will really encourage that the mayor and council and the citizens really take an interest in that. Because it could be some health risks. It could be some health risks, it could be some other things. We just want to get some clarity on what's at stake having that many lithium-ion batteries in one area. That's all I have.
What date was that again?
January 22nd.
22nd, you will send us something.
By Zoom, 7 p.m.
Thank you very much. Next, citizens' participation.
I think like you would expect a minute.
No, come on. I saw you looking over there like, come on, get on up there. Anything on? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. I am coming before the mayor and council, but I'm gonna look this way, Chief. Sir, I want to remind you of that bicycle rodeo. I spoke with someone that's going to give out bicycles, so I just want to follow up. Please keep that on your radar. I'm here for a call of, in spite of everything that has been discussed tonight, I'm here for a call of action, call to action per se, and it may take a little more than 3 minutes, it may take less. I went to the gas station at the corner of Sheriff and Addison. And so we know the gas station has taken, you know, a different look on it, and we know we have individuals that are outside. But I stopped by there to get something quick the other day. I think I was getting gas, and there was a gentleman that was outside in the cold. This is before the snow, the day before the snow. Cold, bitter. He had no socks on. So I stopped by today to get a tea, and he was there again with no socks on. The first time I tried to mind my business and go home, but it stayed on my mind. Today when I saw him, I couldn't do anything but go to the wig store and get socks for him. When I came back, he wasn't there. And so there was a young lady that was out there as well, and I asked her where he went. And I found him walking up Sheriff Road towards Eastern Avenue. I gave him the socks that I bought for him. And I had given him, prior to going to get the socks, I had given him, I only had $1, so I gave him that. But I want to speak to the blessing before that, because it's all inclusive. I had no money in my pocket when I went in the store. There was a young, you know I'm a teacher. So there was 3 youth in there trying to get a soda, the liter bottle soda, and he had $1, and he didn't have enough. And I kind of joked around with them about, you know, not having enough and if they were going to share. So I decided to pay for, I just have my credit card, I don't do cash, to pay for the soda. And that's where the $1 came from, to give to the man with no socks. So I'm asking the council for a box. The mayor and the chief for a sock drive.
For what drive?
Sock drive.
A sock drive, okay.
Yes.
Can I go we can go downstairs and maybe make them a box with clothes.
That's fine, whatever we come up with, it just,
It's cold.
it didn't make sense. And if we could,
It's a lot of.
Long Johns, whatever, we don't know who they are, but this one, it pierced my heart. He's not the only one. And thank you for your time, but you know, sometimes when you see somebody outside, it's not just about them begging, it's about the situation that they're in.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
So with the sock drive, where are we gonna, I mean, that's just one person, where else do you see a need for just to do a sock drive? I know what I'm saying, where are we gonna do it at? Are we doing it just for the community, or are we going somewhere else? We collect it here and then take it somewhere else?
So I don't know, ma'am, it's up for discussion. Last time I did a coat drive, we would do the veterans stand down, and we collected coats here and then transported them up to the Veterans Hospital. That was some time ago. I've done a sock drive. We collected socks, and they were given to the youth at UCAP, because you know a lot of times parents are, you know, we wait first and things, sometimes we overlook down and give them things to them share. So long story short, this is just one issue that sparked my attention, and I'm saying that he's not the only one. You know what I mean? So if it's
donated to a shelter or something like that.
no, there are people outside the liquor store, the gas station. You know, I don't know where they are. I happen to run across him. So I don't know. The logistics, we just have to iron out. I'm just asking for the effort to be initiated to do it.
But it could be implemented into the clothes closet. That's the purpose for this kind of weather. When a flyer go out and you see what come down, if you just sit one day, you want to take your own coat and shoes off. They come in droves. I mean, in droves. They need coats. They go back home. One come in and they go back. and that 10 more coming, and it's kids, it's grandparents. And then they break down, once they can find that they can confide and it's confidential and nobody's putting their business in the street, they come back. You can count on them. They are coming back.
I don't disagree. I totally agree with you.
So I think the other point, and to Mayor's point of kind of figuring out what that looks like, because we're already in January, at end of January, another work session on meeting, we're down to the middle of February, so I would think this is something we want to tackle like quickly, maybe a week tops, or 2 weeks to get this together, and then what does that look like? Do we, go driving through the town and find these people that are out here, or like you said, take it somewhere and drop it off? So while I know we need to figure out the logistics, I think we also want to try to put a timeline on it so we can get this done, because we don't want to give it to them at the end of it. We're already, almost at the end of January. So.
Paul's Liquor Store. That gas station.
Okay. So I'll work on something.
What is it?
To get something.
What's the wing place?
BP is every day.
They're not just in Fairmount Heights.
Every day.
He wasn't in Fairmount Heights.
You gotta ride
So maybe we can, when we do our food giveaway, see if we can coordinate and give away some clothes, some shoes, some socks, whatever we got.
Yeah, but I mean.
So they gotta come here.
But I'm saying you gotta be mobile, because these people are out. If you go to BP right now, and within a matter of 10 minutes and you get your gas and sitting still, you're gonna see somebody come nose running, can I get $1? Or you look at them, they might not even, I've seen them with no shoes on. And socks wrapped around their feet, and that was 2 weeks ago.
I don't disagree, there is a need, we just gotta figure out how we can help.
Okay, so can we do this?
We can help, but we also need to be cautious too, because them same people that's out there with their no shoes on, with their runny nose, and see the same people that often you come from. So you,
They who?
same people that can take your car from you as well. So we just have to be cautious of how we.
We have to be cautious with everything we do. So can we do, I don't get that, I'm sorry, I get that. That's just something I didn't think about today. I just saw bare ankles.
Yeah,
So,
probably had chief or somebody.
Did he have some shoes?
Yeah.
he has shoes on, he had tennis shoes on.
Oh, just no socks.
Can we do this? Can we just get a box and start putting socks in? 3 pair of socks cost me $3.99 today.
Okay, we can,
So
we don't have an issue
if
with
I
that.
have to, be the one to drop them off, I don't know whether that, it excludes the town from liability. I don't know. I'm just asking if you guys would help me collect socks for.
Yeah, so we just have to put something out to the community saying that we, okay. All right, I'll get Ms. Russell on that tomorrow.
Thank you.
Can we try that mic one more time?
To the 27th, maybe. So that's like a week and a half.
There we go. So that she can have her mic back, because I think somebody online was saying they couldn't hear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there any more citizens' participation? Anything online, Councilwoman St. John? No. So if we don't have any more citizens' participation? Okay, come on, man. Just state your name and the street you live on. How are you this evening?
I'm Sonia Pine, I live on Cole Street, and I was just going to ask a question or make a comment that, that street is always, busy, and they don't respect the stop signs, they keep running the stop signs, and I'm afraid that somebody's gonna get hit. And I was wondering, why didn't we get any speed humps on our street?
Okay, so we're doing the speed humps in phases. So the first phase was already done. The second phase, we're identifying the remainder streets, more streets to get speed humps. Not saying Cove is on the list, I'm just saying we're identifying, the police department will be identifying other streets that need speed humps. Cove may or may not be on that list coming forward, but that was just phase one. We still have several other phases. I mean, the goal is to get all of our streets with speed humps. We just have to do it in phases because of the cost.
And also, it's, I forgot the name of, I forgot which street it is, but it's a hill that's, crossing, Cove Street.
56, yeah.
And they flying down that hill, and and it don't look good, cause if they,
Next to the park.
Right to the park, yeah.
right. And so they had already hit my what's called previous, coming off their hill, and I was wondering, how can you make that a one-way to?
You mean that street, make it,
Right there next to the playground.
yeah, that one, we already got the one-way for your street, right? K Street is?
56, yes.
That's a one-way. And which way would you be proposing it be a one-way, like to go up towards Eastern or
Go
coming
up.
down to?
Go up, to make sure they don't come down and crash into anything, instead of just making it a one-way going up.
Okay.
And you would have to, what I did in order to turn K Street, which is the street, your street, because I remember you stopped about your dog. And remember you needed, and I was telling you that she was a dog walker.
I remember.
And you new to the community. Remember you saying about, okay, know just exactly where you are. She's on, and what I would love to do, working with on the council, I would love to make that park right there, right adjacent it, a dog park. Because another municipality in like over on the other side of Prince George's County, they had just, and I wanted to find out what did they do to go about and get a grant. I know exactly what you're saying. You're saying that they fly up and down Cole Street.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I agree with her, and they fly right through the stop sign.
Even the school bus do it. I can see the school bus go over the stop sign.
And it's right there at the park.
So, I'm sorry, what was your last name again?
Hyatt.
Ms. Pyatt, in order to, turn a one-way into
You have to
a
have
street into a.
everybody sign a petition.
Right, you have to do it, we can set the criteria for what we want, but typically we have to do a traffic study, right? To determine if it can be turned into a one-way, before we go through the whole motion.
I know when
again.
I did mine with Mayor Martin, I just had to get a petition signed. It's in the documentation and say yes or no, do you agree? But if you turn Cove Street, you can't turn Cove Street into a one-way.
Not Cove, she's talking about 56.
The side street.
56?
I don't think you can either because your street is one, but I'm no expert.
Yeah,
I'll
and
let the chief, the
56.
police department deal with that.
We
But I will
tried.
have the chief, I will have the police department look into, doing some traffic enforcement over there.
But it's good to see you.
Yeah, that whole hill right there, it is, but they're running stop signs everywhere. But to put to speed bumps on Clove, I would like to put one on 56 to slow people down from coming down or going up or however we're doing it. The problem is, everybody's in a rush, everybody's distracted, and nobody wants to stop. This is part of the traffic study that we're doing in the town right now to gauge how much and what are the worst parts of the town where these stop signs are. I can tell you right now, Officer Cargill may write anywhere from 9 to 12 tickets a day. He can sit on Veterans Memorial all day and write 5 tickets an hour, at least. But I can't have him doing that because I need him patrolling. But it's just the mere fact that if we go over on Clove and sit right there and watch people come down the one way right there as well, we can write multiple tickets. But this is part of the education of not just the town members, but the people who are deciding, I'm going to use Fairmount Heights to cut through. So if you're going to cut through and you're going to cut through legally, you're going to pay for it. So, and I don't say that with the intention of, I just want to write everybody a ticket or my guys write everybody a ticket, but you need to come through this town safely. We can sit on that whole Veterans Memorial from the top of that hill all the way down to 59th, and we could probably write in a day from, let's say from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., we could probably write close to 60 or 70 tickets, easily. But my goal is to have people understand that some people, come through here and they're like, man, I stopped coming through here because this area is hot through here. So when they say it's hot through here, that means we're doing our job.
Yep.
So, and it's hot because that means they know we're out. And so now, if I'm going to go to another street, I'm going to go through Sea Pleasant to cut around, I'm going to cut all the way around. I can't go through Fairmount Heights and continue to run these stop signs without getting a $75 ticket. So,
And please explain to people how the town doesn't get the revenue.
that's correct. So the only time the town gets revenue when we write parking citations or we impound vehicles. That money that we write for moving violations, the state of Maryland gets that money. But the only thing that we get is the understanding that we're letting people know that you can't speed through our community. You can't come through this community flying and running stop signs and all that kind of stuff. Now, at some point, will the state relinquish some of that money? Probably not. That other part of this traffic study that we're doing with people who run stop signs, this legislative session is a part of us trying to get AI technology and stop sign technology that when we don't have to have an officer right there to issue that citation. So my officers could be patrolling or responding to something else, and these stop signs will all be taken care of. So that'll be one less responsibility that we can focus on the real crime that's going on, opposed to having to monitor whether people are going to stop or not at a stop sign. We shouldn't have to do that all day, every day, but nobody, and like she said, school buses. We had talked to, not the main mailman that comes here, but one of the ladies on the other side. Look, I understand you're the mail lady, but you can't come down a one-way street either.
She do it on Facebook.
And see, this is part of what we're talking about. So we got in touch with the postmaster and just made the complaint. I'm not going back and forth with you. I'm calling the postmaster. And you either get it right, or we'll start citing her, and then we'll impound the vehicle. So whether it's a U.S. government vehicle or not, everybody has to pay attention to the law, including myself. So that's it.
But I know what you mean about culture.
So we do have a plan. The chief will look into what's going on Cove Street. Was your vehicle one of the vehicles that was broken into?
Yes.
Did you lose? Did you lose a lot of stuff in your vehicle? Okay.
I just have that in the window.
Oh, just the window, the inconvenience of the window.
Yeah, that was like 90% of the people. They only lost a window, but it's senseless though. Yeah, because the windows cost more than anything. The windows or the deductible. One of them, if you want to lose,
Do you have a
what?
ring camera?
Yes.
You do? Okay.
But I didn't see anything.
No, I was just wondering if you had one, because we're giving them away for free. If you know anybody, let them know. Do you have anything else for us?
No, that'd be it.
And keep coming around.
Okay, thank
Good
you.
to see
Please
you.
come back again. Anything online? Nope. All right, so if we don't have citizens participation, remember 3 minutes?
I know, last time I had to leave.
But I know you guys were talking about your committees. Were you able to, like, because I know before, they had committees and 7 committees. So were you guys able to make some headway on which ones and what needs you had?
We're going to discuss that at our first meeting in February.
Yeah,
All right.
We're on compiling that, but definitely want things like a charter committee, environmental.
No, I mean the
policy
one.
committee.
No, I mean the one where you have you know how we used to have where, yes.
I'm sorry.
Remember how we used to have, everybody had their
Organization.
organization?
Oh, yep, yep,
So,
yep,
so you guys, are you still using that format?
I don't have anything that shows
You
the
mean like the
actual
liaison,
form,
the
just
public
the criteria.
secretary?
Yes.
Yes, we are.
So
We tweaked it a little bit.
all right, so everyone knows what theirs is, so you
Yeah.
know which ones are
Yeah.
still available?
Yes.
All right.
Public safety is open.
Maybe. And what else is available?
Public safety.
What else? He got that.
Public safety. If somebody wants to switch with you, that's fine, but public safety is what
Really?
former Councilwoman White left open.
Okay, and what about him?
He is, what is he?
You.
And the veterans.
And the veterans.
Veterans and
Okay,
youth.
I'll take that.
If he decides he would like to switch with you, yes.
But he's not doing anything.
Yes, you can take, yeah, I would give it to him for the time being.
Yeah, because I think I don't do public safety.
Okay, we'll discuss it.
Okay, sound good. And when am I going to be sworn in?
Next month.
Good, okay. I just remember that had to be done.
Yeah.
You know, I still had everything.
All right. So if we don't have any more questions, no more citizens participation, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
I propose a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Have a great evening, everybody.